Little lightning logo there for a minute. Yeah, man. True Slinger back with you. Well, wrong episode number, but that's all right. We can maybe try and fix that. How you doing? Just doing a little test here. And we're doing a hurricane watch tonight. And I learned how to embed multiple streams tonight. So this is really just kind of a test. And I got a new boom mic. And got to get that set up in the right place. So you can see all the cool rays going into my body. So let's try my live there panel, and let's get some sound.
And it's pretty much parallel, or pretty much just about at the same latitude as where we are here, the Cape Hayes Peninsula. So this is about as close as Idalia is going to get to us. And as I mentioned, we are seeing some rain, heavy rain just offshore, and I think the heaviest of the rain will stay offshore.
We'll get some of this light to moderate rain
to come into Charlotte and Lee County Island coast. Around Cape Hayes, Boca Grande, you're seeing some light rain, even into Englewood. It's a light to moderate rain, but this heavy rain is just barely going to stay offshore. This is all moving off towards the north-northeast, so that'll be more so aimed for Sarasota than it will be around here. That's about 25 miles offshore of Charlotte County in the Cape Hayes Peninsula.
Click.
A little bit of spotty light rain around State Road 31 just north of Babcock Ranch. A little bit of light rain and some drizzle over Charlotte Harbor as well. Most of Lee County is dry, a couple of sprinkles right along and just north of the Caloosahatchee River. Watch how all this moves over the next hour. You can see how this heavy stuff is aimed towards Venice and Sarasota, but some of that lighter to moderate rain may get into western Charlotte and Lee County as we go over the next 1 hour. The center of the storm is 137.2 miles away from us in southwest Florida. That goes from the far northwestern extremities of the Cape Hayes Peninsula out straight into the center of that storm. And even since I just drew this a couple of moments ago, you see how that's lifted north? It's moving pretty quickly. That's why I think I've went back into the radar and I've noticed about 20 miles per hour movement. So I think this is going to get sped up a little bit with the 11 o'clock advisory. We'll have to wait and see. Right now they've kept it at 16 miles per hour. You can see how quickly the center of circulation is moving. I'll step on over here and we'll loop this one more time. You can see moving off to the north. This is just in 1 hour covering that ground. So it's spinning at a pretty good clip. We still continue the storm surge watch for Charlotte and Lee County for the possibility. We're not really expecting it. We don't have high expectations for this, which is actually good. But the possibility of 2 to 4 foot storm surges is there for Charlotte and Lee County. That's the purple area that you see. The red area, once you get to Sarasota County and points north of there, that's a storm surge warning. And they are expecting storm surge levels to inundate some of the coastline there from Sarasota County all the way north. And some of the big storm surge totals are going to be up north of Tampa Bay. We still have the tropical storm warning because of tropical storm force winds expected to pick up along the coastlines of Charlotte, Lee, and Collier County, and even on into DeSoto County, a little bit closer to the center of circulation. We could see that isolated 40-mile-an-hour wind. As you move inland into Collier County, it's a tropical storm watch because, again, it's possible. We're not really expecting those winds to get to 40 miles per hour, but it is possible in interior Collier County. And then Hendry and Glades County, not so much, so you're not in any sort of warning as far as that goes. Let's talk about the storm surge potential here because they've dropped the storm surge watch for Collier County. And the reason why is, if you were watching earlier, the 10,000 Islands and a good portion around Everglades City and Chokoloskee, that was all yellow. Now that's blue. The storm is far enough north that the storm surge threat, especially in the southern portion of Collier County, has really diminished. So that's some good news. You might see some very, very minor storm surge, and the same thing around Marco Island up towards Naples. Could be about a foot, maybe 2 feet. So not a terrible story there. We're going to keep that idea of a lot of the areas I'm about to show you colored in blue around the Lee Island coast, again, for 1 to perhaps 3 feet of storm surge. We're not totally out of the woods yet. The storm is not far enough away from us to be able to lower that threat for storm surge. But it's not going to be a catastrophic storm surge event, even if we do see some storm surge, especially around the time of high tide as we go through the next couple of days. You can see even around here we had some yellow areas earlier. That's all now shaded in blue. Remember this? Northwestern corner of Pine Island, it was yellow earlier. That's now shaded in blue. So the threat of storm surge, at least 3 feet, is just about gone. We could still see 1 to 3 in that general range, but the threat as we go through time here is getting a little bit lower, so that's a bit of good news. Here's a brand new model run, our in-house forecast model here. Again, the closest point is right now for Idalia. It's going to start lifting to the north, so I think our tornado threat is done. That right front quadrant is now north of just about all of the area. And we don't have any rain bands on top of us right now, so our tornado threat is, for all intents and purposes, done. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, there's your landfall point. The timing is really not too much different from the earlier model run. The location is not too different from the earlier model run either. I think, if anything, might just be about a half mile or so to the east of where the old spot was, but still, that's not going to make any sort of difference. Still going through South Florida or South Georgia, still going through the Carolinas, and still heading on out into the Atlantic as a tropical storm as we go through time. The winds, as we go into the overnight, are going to start picking up. This is 1 o'clock in the morning, and right along the coastline, you see 40 mile per hour to 45 mile per hour opportunities for some winds. That's the tropical storm force wind that we're expecting as the storm continues to lift off to the north. And that's going to carry through right through tomorrow morning. As we go into the midday, though, those winds spread off towards Lake Okeechobee, and that's because we're going to start seeing some of those rain bands, instead of spiraling in from kind of like the south-southeast, they're going to be spiraling in straight from the Gulf of Mexico. So that's going to take those winds and spread them over towards Lake Okeechobee. And that's where we could see about 30 to 35 mile per hour winds. As far as the additional rain we could expect, it's beneficial rain. We need the rain. So these little yellow areas here, we're looking at 2 to 4 inches of rain, generally another 1 to 2 inches.
District attorney from just a little while ago, from essentially Atlanta, that's Fulton County. She said, basically, I don't have any right to challenge an election. Well, what about Stacey Abrams? What about Hillary Clinton? What about all of these Democrats that are still challenging my election? The same people that are saying he's challenging an election challenged my election. And they did.
These people, you mean to tell me these people are hypocrites? I never. Wow.
They did it with slates. They did it with all sorts of things. They were very bad about it. But basically, they're suing me, and they're saying, you don't have any right to challenge it. If you challenge an election, we're going to indict you and put you in jail. So what they're doing is they've weaponized, and don't kid yourself. The Attorney General or the District Attorney, Fannie Willis.
He said Fannie.
In Atlanta, she's getting killed. Basically, she's saying Trump doesn't have the right to criticize an election. But you've been around long enough now. You've seen many elections criticized. I mean, Hillary Clinton goes crazy. Every time she talks, she says, he's not the president. Jimmy Carter said, he's not the president. Well, I am the president. Hillary Clinton called me, by the way, at 3:02 in the morning to congratulate me.
I thought she never conceded. That's interesting.
The night of the election.
Did her voice crack?
Well, her voice was it's very different, I will say. I won't get into that. But
what do you mean?
Her voice was very different. Don't forget, they were all celebrating at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I came home and I said, I think we won. I felt we won because the rallies are so big. We'd go to Wisconsin, and we'd go to Georgia. We'd go to different states. In Michigan, we'd have rallies. In Pennsylvania, we had 58,000 people in Butler. And I said, how are we losing this? How do you have a rally where you have from 50 to 100,000 people, many of them? I did 7 a day for a couple of days. That's a lot. That's a lot. These are big rallies too. And I didn't hold back. I didn't say, let's make them let's do abbreviations, right? But they challenged the stuff. Yeah. Hillary called me up and conceded. Now the word is that Obama said you have to do that. But she called up and totally conceded. But now, every time you see her on television, she's saying like, well, she's challenging the election.
Do you think
so that would mean that she should be indicted, but that would mean also that Stacey Abrams in Georgia should be indicted.
Well, I mean, that's fair enough, I think.
Because she still thinks she won the election for governor. She still thinks that. She's never recanted. And
do you think Stacey Abrams will be indicted for that?
No, of course not. She won't be. The Democrats don't get indicted for.
Two separate justice systems that we live in right now. Do you think for a second the Democrats are going to have to deal with what we do? No.
Things like that. They don't get impeached. No, it's a different thing. With that being said,
yes,
I had great support when they did impeachment hoax number 1 and impeachment hoax number 2. Jim Jordan, the House was fantastic. And actually the Senate was very good for me, other than, Mitch McConnell. I think if he had, it's too bad I endorsed him. He was begging, he was going to lose that race, and I endorsed him, and he ended up winning the race because of my endorsement. He was down, he was going to lose to Amy McGrath. She was $90 million in cash, all set to go. She was leading by 3. He was going down. I did him a favor, and then 3-4 months later, he really wanted to impeach me. He's a bad guy. But if you look at what's going on politically, so interesting. The level of loyalty is different in politics than it is in normal life, I will say.
What?
With that being said, I've had great loyalty also. But,
wow, I'm shocked.
But the House was fantastic. The Senate was very good. They overrode Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell, in my opinion, was trying to get senators to impeach me, especially for the second one.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Honestly, that wouldn't surprise me in the least little bit.
And on the first one, he acted very, very slow. Should have gone much faster. But Mitch McConnell wanted to, and the senators went up to guys that are subservient to him because he gives money. He gives them money. He gives them a lot of money. He raises some money and he gives it to them, and therefore they do what he said. That's the only form of leadership he's got.
So last question. If you're elected president again, what's your number one priority?
If it's not clear out the cabinet, then the answer is wrong.
When you ran last time, you said, I will build a wall. This time, your bottom line top promise to the country.
So you can do numerous things at the same time.
Of course.
But let's say number 1 is a border.
Wrong answer.
And taking hundreds of thousands of criminals that have been allowed into our country and getting them out and bringing them back to their country, Guatemala. By the way, not only the 4 countries that we think of as neighbors, all over the world. Last month, we had 149 countries represented. Think of it. We had 149 countries represented, Tucker, from places that many people never even heard of, coming into our country. And they're coming in from mental institutions, and they're coming in from prisons. They're emptying out their prisons all over South America. They're emptying out their mental institutions. Terrorists are pouring.
I would need a source on that. They're emptying out their mental institutions and sending them to our southern border.
Into our country. We have no idea. I had the strongest border in the history of our country, and I built almost 500 miles of wall. They like to say, oh, was it less? No. I built 500 miles. In fact, if you check with the authorities on the border, we built almost 500 miles of wall, and I had another 200 that I was going to build. It's like water, it seeks. And we're going to build another 200. We built it. It was all set to go. All they had to do was install it. It would have taken 3 weeks.
Cuba did that years ago? Cuba in the sun. Okay, so it's not currently happening right now.
And that's when I found out. I said, I think these people actually want to open borders. The first thing I would do would be, I would seal up the border good and tight, except for people that want to come in legally.
Do you think we're moving towards civil war?
At the risk of sounding like Tim Pool, yes, but not in the way we think it is.
There's tremendous passion and there's tremendous love. January 6th was a very interesting day because they don't report it properly. I believe it was the largest crowd I've ever spoken before. And you know some of the crowds I've spoken before. And like July 4th on the Mall, I think they had 1 million people there.
Yeah, exactly, Luna. We aren't moving away from it. We're not getting closer to national unity.
But I think that the biggest crowd I've ever spoken before was on January 6th. And people that were in that crowd, a very, very small group of people, and we said patriotically and peacefully and patriotically, right? Nobody ever says that. Go peacefully and patriotically. But people that were in that crowd that day, very small group of people, went down there, and then there are a lot of scenarios that we can talk about. But people in that crowd said it was the most beautiful day they've ever experienced. There was love in that crowd. There was love and unity. I have never seen such spirit and such passion and such love. And I've also never seen simultaneously and from the same people such hatred of what they've done to our country.
So do you think it's possible that there's open conflict? We seem to be moving towards something.
I don't know, because I don't know what it, I can say this. There's a level of passion that I've never seen. There's a level of hatred that I've never seen, and that's probably a
That's true enough.
bad combination.
Donald Trump, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Thank you.
That is a bad combination, by the way.
Bad combination.
Well, I can't say that this interview made him look good. I don't think it made him look any better at all, honestly. But that was the interview. That's the interview that beat out the GOP debate. Maybe if I have some time later in the week, I'll do an extra stream covering the debate, because honestly, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch any of it. But I'm worried about copyright shit with it, so we'll see. But I'm going to cut this one early. I am fucking starving. I need to go find something to eat. So, guys, thank you for coming and hanging out. Thank you for all the donations tonight. And I will see you tomorrow for the AAA and maybe an extra Goral stream. Do it on Twitch. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all, actually. Sinatra says anti-Trumper Coke. Look, this just didn't make him look better. I don't know what to tell you. This interview did not make him look better than he looked before it.
Landfall sometime tomorrow morning, looking like right around 10 a.m. It's already towards the Tallahassee area. So most likely right around 7, 8 in the morning, we can expect a landfall somewhere within the Big Bend here. So this is Apalachicola here, and then it will eventually start to push towards the Savannah area, most likely as a tropical storm by then, and eventually start to curve back out towards the Atlantic. So our 8 p.m. advisory was updated a little bit ago, 105 miles per hour, just under that Cat 3 stage there. And it is expected to become a Cat 3 by early in the morning, so possibly even the 11 p.m. advisory, which is our next advisory, 115 miles per hour. So we're going to kind of watch to see if it does maintain that strength as it pushes closer towards the coast and eventually making landfall sometime in the morning, and eventually starting to push off on land, or push inland rather, and as it does so, it will start to weaken as it pushes further inland. So that's what we're watching here. Where's the landfall going to be? So our last cone update showed us anywhere from St. Mark's, so this is east of Sopchoppy there, within the Perry area, down towards Horseshoe Beach. So anywhere within this area, we are watching for the potential landfall with this hurricane. And there you go with that heading out towards sea once again. It's now dark on our Kalia Bay camera here, and we do actually have a new watch that was issued on our live radar here, a tornado watch up until 6 a.m. For the most part, it's looking like our tornado conditions are almost over with, but there still is the possibility to see a water spout make it on shore. So I'm guessing that is why they issue that tornado watch overnight. And of course, we will stay with you. If anything does get issued, we will be sure to update you. Right now, though, tracking that heavier rainfall, pushing a little bit closer towards our coastline. I'm going to zoom in here. So far, only towards the Captiva area, Cayo Costa, Boca Grande, Gasparilla, Rotunda. You guys are starting to see a little bit of that heavier rainfall, but for the most part, only a few sprinkles out there across Southwest Florida. And we are expecting to see that lightning heading our way within the next couple of hours here. So, of course, we will have the latest update on that, as well as take a look at that future radar coming up in just a few minutes.
Sammy, thanks so much. As we continue to track Hurricane Idalia, we have crews all across Southwest Florida. And right now tonight, we want to head back out to Fort Myers Beach. That's where ABC7's Gage Goulding is right now. And Gage, I understand you're joining us from one of the shrimp boats on the island.
Yeah, we are. We're on the Big Daddy. And no, I didn't make this up. It's one of the boats that's out here. We're on the Big Daddy. This is one of the boats that rode out Hurricane Ian. I'm along with the Big Papa and the Captain Lane next to it. We got the Dragon Tails over here, Miss Amy J. All of them kind of fit snugly in here, all tied up, just waiting for the impacts of Idalia. But first, before we get to Idalia, let's talk about what Hurricane Ian did to this area. I want to pop on over here, kind of meander our way over. Our photographer Josh here is probably going to have a tough time. But look at Trico Shrimp Company. This is what's left, practically untouched after Hurricane Ian. It's kind of crazy to think about 11 months later, and this is what is left. Look at this dock real quick. If we can show this, this dock is slanted down into the pass here, and this is what we had to walk over. And quite frankly, no joke, we had to walk the plank to get over here because the dock is destroyed, and they're hanging on. These boats are hanging on to what's left here practically for dear life. This is all that's left, and all these boats are tied up together.
It's Maccabeus. How are you tonight?
What we got out here, and I hold this back here so we kind of give you a little bit of a better look. We're here with one of the owners of the 3 boats that you're looking at right here. Josh, thank you for joining us.
Turn that off.
ABC7.
Turn that off.
First question. Are you going to be riding out the storm on the boat, or your captain's riding out the storm tonight?
Yes, Gage, that's the plan. We have captains that stay on the boat voluntarily, you know, whoever wants to stay on them and watch or ride the storm, that's what they call it. Trying to watch it, trying to see what it's doing, trying to prevent any damages and keep any damage to a minimum, trying to have extra lines on the boat and make sure all the pumps and all that kind of stuff is working.
And you just bought this boat, the Big Daddy, the Big Papa, and Miss Captain Lane, right? Captain Lane in between. What made you want to buy these boats after Hurricane Ian?
We're shrimping in Alabama, so just bought them and trying to get them to work also.
And you actually just got gas on the Big Daddy today, right?
Yes, fueled up and just sitting out and riding the storm, trying to wait and see what it's going to do and probably head home after that.
This will be nothing like Hurricane Ian, right? We're not going to see those, more than 10-foot storm surge plus swells, but 2 to 4 feet. What do you think that's going to end up being like here? Do you think you're going to have any issues here with your boats?
Not really, Gage. We're hoping that we don't get that much of a surge or tide. I'm not thinking we will. So we'll see what happens. We'll see in the next few hours. As of now, we're going to spend the night on the boats. And we'll see. We'll try to keep it to a minimum for sure, any kind of damage or anything.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting us here on the Big Daddy. But I want to show you how they're keeping the Big Daddy safe tonight as we walk over here. Look at these ropes. These are some big ropes. And I got my dog Huck at home. These are not Huck's leash. These are thick, giant ropes. And we're not talking just 1 or 2 or 3. There's multiple ropes. And if you follow the rope over here, and kind of look, they're tying these boats together, and that's how they fit them in here. And take a look at the Miss Amy J and the Dragon Tails over here. They are fit as snug as a bug in a rug, and that's how they kind of keep these boats safe, is just by jamming them together here along the docks and really kind of crossing their fingers and hoping that this storm will not break any of them free. Look, this isn't going to be anything like Hurricane Ian. We're not going to see that storm surge we saw, 2 to 4 feet. That's what we're forecasted here. People are pretty sure that they will be able to ride this out here without any problems. However, the folks here, I got to show you one thing. Guys, they are not taking any chances. I'm reporting live on San Carlos Island, actually on the Big Daddy, docked on San Carlos Island. I'm Gage Goulding, ABC7.
Thanks, Gage. And we have some breaking news right now on ABC7. The Coast Guard confirms it is searching in the Caloosahatchee River after receiving reports that 2 people went into the water. So we know the search started around 7:40 this evening. You're looking at video of the river where you can see blinking lights from boats in the distance. Right now, the Coast Guard says it's not sure if the people are still in the water. We are working to get you more information. This search is happening in the water in Lee County. So we'll get you more as soon as we confirm more information with officials. And since the storm is expected to make a landfall in the Big Bend area far to our north, our northern counties are expected to see more of those significant impacts. So we have a crew out in the Charlotte County area. We have crews all around the area. And right now we want to check in with ABC7's Hope Salmon. She is getting you more from Ponce de Leon Park in Punta Gorda.
The wind is picking up and it's starting to rain, so we're definitely feeling those impacts that it's getting closer to us here on the water. Most of the families that were out here trying to experience that calm before the storm have all left, but there is one family still here. Tell me, what are you guys out here doing, trying to experience tonight?
Well, we
have a viewer. Welcome.
We were talking about
it's Mac, how you doing?
To experience a hurricane.
How you doing?
Is this the first time the parents
We're just doing a multi-stream test tonight.
No, it's their second time.
To see if I can float multiple streams and multiple windows, and we are.
Right now. But we will be leaving very soon.
Yeah. And are you guys all prepared at home? Do you have everything stocked up and ready to go?
Yeah, so I'm ready.
Coffee's
my husband is
good.
an electrician, so we are ready. And I have water, I have food. We clear all the area, and we have gas, so we're ready for it.
And how do you guys think so far being out here before this big storm hits?
Happy.
Happy? How about you?
Sad.
Sad? Why?
Because I don't like hurricanes and they're so windy.
Stop
it!
Stop it!
The house.
You're gonna blow away.
Stop.
All right. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll keep you all
Dogfight.
updated as the conditions continue to change. But we do feel that wind picking up, and actually in the distance, I just saw a little bit of lightning. So we'll keep you updated as the storm continues. Reporting live in Punta Gorda. Hope Salmon.
Punta
ABC7.
Gorda.
Of course, we'll make sure our crews stay safe, make sure they get in the truck or the car they're in if they are near that lightning.
All right, let's check in on Kern County.
Still the picture.
The engine sounds good. The engine.
Not bad. Still stuck in my mind.
Why are you licking your lips?
So what I'm going to do is need labels. I'm going to need labels for the Kern County, and let's put some text up there. Yeah, categories. Well, yeah, Law and Order dash Kern County.
That was a bad picture right there, guys. It's still stuck in my mind. You know what I mean?
Add an element.
Terrible.
Right here, watch.
Yeah, she was bending over in the
Can I help you?
Let's call it A panel. Okay.
You don't need to take them dogs out. You don't own those.
And you imagine this too, guys. The people whoever picks up these working girls, sometimes they're half drunk, guys. They're completely drunk, and you imagine what the process that they're going in, and they reach around and they find what they find.
Look,
how much they're saying when they get home. I slept with the guy.
When they wake up naked, with the front door open.
Oh, whatever.
And the back door open.
That's the first thing I check, boy.
How much did you pay?
What?
Look, I can paste reference, or I can paste
That was the last time you saw Pinky.
duplicate.
Now you know what happens. We haven't seen
Now,
her in a while on her.
I go
She's locked
here,
down where
here.
she's gone.
Like a,
She must have moved out.
Yeah, Carlos is cooking.
Huh?
They've been cooking hot hamburgers over there. Carlos is.
Oh, wow. staffers, guys. They're junk now, guys. They'll be the last one.
Staffers?
Yeah, they don't. These back in the days, guys, Stafford used to be the T-shirt to get.
Watch this. I gotta go.
They're no good no more. They're making ding, guys. It's supposed to be the quality at first. You can't even see like through it. That's how good the cotton was back then. Now it's junk. Yeah, I recommend. Yeah, guys. Yeah, they're no good, man. Stafford is Jason Penney used to be the place to go, but unfortunately, you know, everybody's trying to make a dollar to stretch that cotton out, guys. I think that's what's going on. Just everywhere else, same thing. Oh, did you guys see that on the news? Lady, the doctor don't know what was going on with this lady, guys. She's always complaining of headaches and stuff like that, guys. So they did they opened her brain up, guys. They went in, did surgery on her.
Well, they found a brain worm, man. It was
Believe it or
gross.
not, guys, they found what the problem was, guys. They didn't know
Like
it
a
was
worm.
a worm in her head.
Oh,
guys.
God, it was
Always,
gross.
You know, if you guys have headaches and you go to the doctor, they say nothing's wrong with you guys. My MRI didn't even find that worm.
Oh, Jesus.
For some reason, they found, how you say it, they came up upon that worm, guys, inside that brain where that worm was eating her brain. Did you guys see that?
That's gross. Yeah, I saw the picture of it. It was disgusting.
She was a worm? Yeah, she had a worm in her head, guys.
This guy's
I don't know
funny.
if I shared it or not. I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if I did or not. Yeah, guys, it was a big worm. I don't know if I shared it or not. I don't know if I did.
Hey, Texas. John Carroll is with us. We're not doing much. We're just hanging out and testing multiple streams tonight, man.
Yeah, guys.
It's nice to have you with us. That's why I'm not paying attention. My brain is smoking.
What's the correct word of having a worm? A species, something inside your body, guys. A tapeworm, or what's it called? Yeah, tapeworm, or something like that, guys. How do you say it? Not a worm, guys. You call it larvae? No, it's called something else. Tapeworm, or no, not tapeworm. No. It was from Australia. There you go.
Parasite.
A parasite, guys. Thank you. A parasite. Be very cautious, guys. If you have kids, guys.
Yeah, man. We
feel
like
like
to
their head is
say hi to our guests and be nice to people.
Gonna explode, and you think something's wrong. Take your kids to the doctor because that stuff.
Considering you're
Parasites,
100% of my
If
viewers.
you guys go out of town or out of the city or state, guys, you can't. If you get into a water, guys, that travels up to into your blood. If you have a cut inside your, believe it or not, inside your testicle, guys.
You like to watch riots and shit, though. You're gonna want to
really
subscribe
careful, guys. That's real
to this
right
channel
there, guys.
because that's what
That
we're gonna be
thing will kill
doing
you.
as the society melts between now and the election. That's never gonna
A
happen.
worm in her brain, eating your brain.
You've never joined us.
Thank
I do
God
some
that-
serious
that-
political
that nerd-
commentary
that
here,
nerd-
so
how you say
go back and look through my channel.
Yeah,
and
neurosurgeon, guys.
watch the last few episodes to see what I'm talking
Apparently,
about.
she was rubbing her hand on it, and she felt something wrong, and she got her tweezers
Let me see.
and took it out, guys. It was pretty big, and I didn't share it, guys.
You
I
gotta
did
find
not
something
share
for
it.
the last
I thought I did, but I didn't. I think I got sidetracked with my doggies. sidetracked, guys. Yeah, another reason to stay home. Got that right. Yeah, guys, don't go out of the state, guys, and jump in the water, guys.
Wait a minute, I gotta find
especially the Amazon or whatever.
I gotta go to it in another. Navigate to it in another.
That lady was complaining of headaches and headaches and headaches. They didn't know what was wrong with her, guys. They did an MRI on her. They didn't see it. It's crazy.
We should try and open up a Google chat between each other tomorrow.
It's crazy. They didn't find it until they opened her brain up.
Because we're like both people logged in the same Google, and I'm making really.
They didn't know what was causing problems. They seen that warning. She's doing fine too, guys.
Yeah, it came up first on my own streaming list. Imagine that. Where's the violence?
That's
from
right,
the other
Chris.
Day?
I go right up into your thing. And that will kill you too. I'm holding mine right now. Go mine.
It's not my fault. I got a really lame producer. My news aggregator sucks. Hey, we got real life here. RL. Yeah, there's nothing going on in New York that I'm aware of. Hey, Devil Dog. What's going on, man? Good to see you too, man.
On 4th Street?
Nice to have you on an uneventful night. We're just trying to run some multiple streams here to make sure that Starlink is strong, and it seems to be strong. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing before. I couldn't insert the windows without the headers in them. And then I got online and Google searched and got my stiff old ass brain working again. And figured out I needed to copy the embed codes and then put them into browser windows. And then I could right-click on them and interact with them. And then I can make things start and stop playing, and I can close. I don't even have to have the windows open in an individual browser. So that was a big revelation to me, and it produced what we're looking at right now, which is pretty cool. And I figured out how to get OBS Studio to control the volume of each of these things. So I can turn on and off different volumes from a control panel like that. Right?
Coming up after the break, we are taking you back out to Sanibel and the Causeway specifically to see how everything's holding up before the
Oh man, I appreciate that, Devil Dog. Might be able to use one of those soon enough.
Over here again, right?
Not quite.
Great.
But you hang out a little bit and get to know each other, and we'll need one.
Just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda.
And obviously, any help people kind of have when the stuff starts to hit the fan, going and scouring the internet for news and all that kind of stuff. And we're all about the getting help for news aggregation, man. I don't do this as a living. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay yet. But I got a feeling in the next 14, 18 months, it's going to monetize. I know it will. So screw that stuff. But yeah, it's going to get dicey, man. It's going to get dicey. So, yeah, stick around. Eventually it will. 3 things in... Okay, all right. Let me go back to where the heck we were. And hit refresh. And that kid starting that car was pretty cool.
No security guards. No surveillance cameras. I'm attorney Joe North. And I'm attorney Joseph. I gotta sit in it.
6 minutes, 21 seconds, how to handle Antifa. Is that the one?
Yeah, the last 3. I've got another one for you. You pay nothing unless we recover from I'm just doing things to look interesting.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm kind of losing a little bit of steam here, so gonna have to go to sleep at some point. Share. Copy embed code. Oh, okay. A little local Antifa. Let's go to this window. News panel. Paste. Sorry, I think out loud, dude. You just have to live with it. Okay, look at that. I put it in and interact with it. Make her go full screen. Get rid of that. And we're watching Antifa get handled. So which police department is this that's going to screw these? Texas, man? Oh, Texas. Texas police. Yeah, I don't think Texas would be a good place to be in Antifa. So I don't know. Doing a poll. Do you guys say Antifa or Antifa? I don't know. I use it interchangeably. Antifa, Antifa. I suppose it depends on the sentence and how I inflect it. But Antifa, I say Antifa usually, probably most of the time. Antifa. But I think they say Antifa or Antifa. Anti-fascist. I hate it when they call themselves anti-fascists because that's not what they are. They are the fascists. They're like brown shirts, man, except they're all dressed in black. And look at this guy, these guys that are arrested, man. Scumbags, all of them. Dirtbag, meth head, Kool-Aid haired, beta males. Beta males. He's a beta. He's a beta. Who does that song about beta? I know Jesse Lee Peterson talks about beta males. Tyson Gray, yeah. No, we can't play it. We can't play music. It's going to get us a copyright strike. Okay, here, look. Arrested. Number 2. Take that umbrella away, man. I hate those umbrellas. I hate those things, man. Oh, I know. It's gay. It's like you feel like you're chasing Mary fucking Poppins or something, you know? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. And just seems like a great night to be.
Kern County? No. What neighborhood? Kensington Park, yeah.
Better safe than sorry as we wait and see what this storm does as it moves away from us. As you can see right there on the radar, that storm is moving away.
This woman has the just most awful nasal quality and tone in her voice. It just couldn't be any worse. And she doesn't even have a nice shape or body or anything. I mean, it's like she's not much of a newscaster. I mean, you either got to have a rockin' body and then you can have a shitty voice. Or you can have kind of be okay looking and have a really sexy voice, but you can't have like that, whatever that is, that package.
A really catastrophic storm surge event. Of course, unfortunately, we know all too well what that is like. So certainly.
Yeah, man, Texas. That's right. Hey, man, I put a sound on them. That might be more interesting.
For all those communities up north, unfortunately, they're going to be feeling the wrath.
Stand up! Stand up! Help! Help!
Help! Help! Help!
Mark unit 1, Mark unit 1. Frank, over here, that's you.
The second guy jumped in, and it's so crazy how these people are actually armed. I believe this only happened in the United States. Here's the other guy that got arrested.
Help!
Help! Help! Help!
Yeah, we got him.
Yeah, I can. I don't know how. They have to find an embed code for the video, and there's a way to do that, too. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. There's got to be a way.
That'd be helpful.
Yeah. And
No, fine. We will take care of it later. Back up. What do they need to back up? What do they need to back up?
I remember this one, I think. I think there's somebody jumps in here with a pepper ball gun at some point, starts just pelting the shit out of somebody. Maybe it isn't the one.
And there we go again. The
I love it.
blue-headed or the green-headed kind of
We got to stop putting up with this shit, you know?
Push them and push them to the water, and there is a mugshot of her as well. But this is just so crazy.
Look at that hair. Look, there you go. Kool-Aid hair. I told you.
That the world only involves this
Methed out
of people, and
people,
they're changing
man.
the way we talk. Like in Mexico, in the United States right now, is actually a crime. It's a felony to.
Did you ever hang out with
kill a
anybody that
person.
like
So
was
I'm
a meth
walking up
user?
and say, excuse me, madam,
I
sir,
have.
or excuse me, ma, or excuse
Like
me, sir.
for like
I'm actually
entire
going to I don't know
evenings.
where I'm going. Can you help me out? The
When
fact
my
that you
life
said
was
in the
falling
first place
apart
is
and
actually
my
a felony.
neighbor who was my
It's a felony.
handyman
Even this that person might not
hanging
have
out,
proof that
sleeping
you
in my
didn't say it,
basement.
But it's crazy. We're living in the end time. The world
Man,
is
him and
coming
his
to an end.
couple of
For
his
those who believe
friends,
in Christ,
oh
I'm
my
telling you, the Bible
God.
predicted this. You can see the flood.
Never
is
seen
coming.
anything like
You
it.
can see fire is actually happening.
Zombies.
You can see this LGBT. This
Toothless.
I have nothing against anyone who's gay, but please just don't put it on our face. Leave our kids alone. It gets to 11 right now.
I was in Dallas.
Where
Yeah, well,
a gay
cool.
person can play a
Well, it looks
straight
like they're
person's
getting
role, but a straight
the
person
right,
can play a gay person's role. Does
attitude,
that make
if you will,
sense?
in
Does that
Texas.
make sense? And when you ask them, they're like,
Dallas.
oh, because we have special blood. Hey, everybody, God loves everyone. I'm not in church to judge anyone. I'm not just saying those kids, we're doing the right thing. You have no right to express them. I hope you face the law. I hope the law punishes you. And if the law does not punish you, look, we're going into the end time of this one. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to you watching my next video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, and subscribe to the channel. Please turn notification bell.
That's
so you
probably
can
about
always
up to
see
him. So,
notification once we post our next video.
did you watch many of the riots in 2020, John? We watched all of that stuff, which is the inspiration for why we're doing what we're doing now. We're getting set up and ready because we know this is going to be even better than the first time around.
Company after meadows or valleys or farms? If your hens don't
shut
roam
up.
on meadows, valleys, or farms, maybe we should call ourselves Vital Actual Farms.
All right.
Water does start to rise.
We've been on the air since 4 o'clock this morning, and we won't be off the air until the impacts from the storm have passed. So we want to send things over to Sammy Squires. Hey, Sammy.
Hey guys, yeah, we are still tracking Hurricane Idalia as it is moving closer towards North Florida here. And especially, we are now starting to see an eye forming with it. And that kind of gives us an indication that it is starting to strengthen as it is pushing closer
So,
towards
what's the category
Big
of this
Bend
thing?
here
Do you
in
know?
the state of Florida. So
They're
we are
saying
still
it's just an
tracking
eye is just
it,
starting to form.
eventually pushing off towards the north. As for now, what we are seeing here locally, wind speeds upwards of about 29
What is this?
miles
They're
per
making
hour in the
chopsticks?
Sanibel area,
Yeah, they're making
as
chopsticks.
well as some little bit of a gustier winds a little bit east. But not so bad so far. It's just along our coastal communities towards Lee County and Charlotte County that are a little bit gustier. So this is our sustained wind speeds. Not at tropical storm strength just yet for Sanibel, Captiva, the Pine Island area, but it is starting to increase, and we are expecting it to continue to increase within the next couple of hours. As for what we're expecting in terms of rainfall, well, we are tracking some heavier rainfall now trying to push into southwest Florida once again. So we've had a little bit of a drier period here. Now it's starting to pick back up again in portions of our islands and eventually starting to turn a little bit closer with these rain bands. So these are the extreme outer rain bands that we are experiencing.
See, look at this.
And there's actually a
Watch.
tornado watch for portions of our area. So there's a chance of some spin-ups. If we do see one, it would be our coastal communities. So potentially as a water spout trying to move on land. Right now, of course, we have no active warnings from tornadoes, and we will be watching it just in case. So here's our live radar 903. Some heavy rainfall trying to move towards our coastal areas, but for the most part, all of southwest Florida inland is just kind of cloudy at the current moment. So still tracking that 1 hour future radar of that heavier rainfall starting to push a little bit further inland, so places like Estero, maybe even towards the
Yeah, I
Naples
can even
area.
do
You
this.
guys can expect to see a little bit of rain coming your way, as well as some thunderstorms. Tropical storm, what we're expecting with these threats here, downpours.
Yeah, I gave it a opaque
Really high
background.
risk there. That's our main threat that we are seeing. So
Oh,
potential
wow.
for some heavy downpours.
Details.
Giving us some coastal
Spelling.
flooding, especially around high tide tomorrow.
Hurricane
There's a
watch.
chance of those tornadoes.
It's the hurricane
That's why
watch.
that tornado watch was issued up until 6 a.m. on Wednesday, and wind
There.
speeds upwards of 40 miles per hour, mainly, once again, for our coastal communities through midday Wednesday. After that, though, we are expecting to see conditions improve. How much rainfall is what we are expecting with how much rainfall, I should say, 2 to 4 inches for a good majority of Southwest Florida. Now, further east you are, so towards Lake Okeechobee, it's going to be less than that. I'd say under 2 inches when this is all said and done versus further north, places towards the Northport, Rotunda, you're looking at about 4 inches or even a little bit higher the further north you go towards Sarasota especially. What we've already seen, about an inch up to an inch and a half in portions
Chinese
of
wood
Marco Island. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are looking at it closer to 2 inches at this current moment versus about a half an inch further towards the
Chinese. How about this?
Area. About an inch and a half for
Industry.
Gorda, a little over an inch in portions of the Cape.
I hope you forgive me. I'm just screwing around here, two guys, tonight.
Rainfall coming within the next 24 hours. So what we actually need, well, we're about 18 and a half inches under the normal for this time of year in Naples. So we really
Told you
could
she's
use
got an
some of
annoying
this
voice.
rain, as
All
well
right,
as 10
history. Where are
inches
we?
below the normal for this time of year in Fort Myers. So still really need that rainfall and hoping to get a decent amount of rain heading our way with this hurricane. And of course, it is not expected to make landfall here in Southwest Florida. It's going to be much further north of the area towards the Big Bend is when we are expecting to see landfall somewhere tomorrow morning. Current conditions out there, not seeing much of the rain heading in our direction just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see these rain bands pushing a little bit closer towards us within the next hour to 2 hours. So we will be tracking these outer rain bands. For now, we're going to take things back to the anchors, and we'll have our next update coming up in just a few.
Sammy, thanks so much. And we want to turn our attention right now in our extended coverage of Hurricane Idalia to Fort Myers Beach.
ABC 7's Gage Golding is out there now. Gage, how are you?
We're doing great. What you just saw there in the beginning was our photographer, Josh, trying to zip up his jacket with the camera on his shoulder. Josh, you're a rock star because we did that all before the toss. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're just now starting to get a little bit of rain. Hey, we've been good here for the past couple hours, knock on wood. Really, not a lot of rain whatsoever, but I don't know if you can see it. Just we're starting to get a couple of drops of rain out here. So Josh, you wanted to bundle up. I get it. I respect it. I love it. Let's talk about what we're looking at right now. This is the shrimp boat fleet behind me here. This is outside Erickson and Jensen, and that was a big story after Hurricane Ian was these shrimp boats. They were stacked on top of each other like Legos. Actually, where I'm standing at right now, they were kind of all toppled up over here. They're all back in the water or salvaged or destroyed, right? So that's the good news. But the bad news is that we're still dealing with a lot of the impacts from Hurricane Ian, like docks being destroyed, these shrimp processing facilities in total being destroyed. And even look at this. Look at this parking lot. I mean, this is a gully. I'll jump down in here. I know the folks earlier were giving me a hard time. I'm 6'3" for.
I don't know. Epic fails we're supposed to have on the bottom.
So,
I guess it's a live
But this is a
stream.
couple inches deep, and some parts here closer to a foot of these gullies that were washed away by Hurricane Ian and this storm surge. As we, Josh, I don't. You want to walk back here, Josh? I guess we could take a little jog back here to just show how the water is cut away, and the storm surge that we're about to see is just going to add to. The
Yeah, those are
problem,
pretty
add
funny.
To the erosion factor of what we're dealing with here. Let's go like this. Microphone's about 8 inches tall. So I'd say this is about 8 inches deep right here, just kind of cut into the ground. So you think about this area right here and the storm surge we're about to get 2 to 4 feet if we get that peak. That's just what we're going to deal with. And if we can kind of spin around here, we'll do the spin
Something
cycle
going in
and switch around here. I'll show you why this is going to be an issue.
All right.
Because we've already seen it from earlier.
You got it
this
in
morning.
history?
There's water up in the parking lot.
Second one in history. All right.
This is the splish splash all around
Oh,
here.
we're
I know the
working
camera
on
doesn't
it.
do
We're working
justice,
you're
and
working my
as we
ass
walk
off
further
here.
Deeper into here, you're going to see several inches of standing water, and this is just going to pond in those areas where are low lying. So some of your streets, canal connecting streets, parking lots like this, areas that may have been damaged during
this live
Hurricane
stream?
Ian are just going to stand. And if you kind of look at my shoe here, if we can show that, Josh, we got a couple inches that have been sitting here, and this water came in this morning around noon, I would say, and it's been here since. Getting back to the shrimp boat, so we got the parking lot and all that, and how the storm surge is going to impact what's on ground. But what about the shrimp boats and the facilities that process the shrimp boats. This is Trico Shrimp here. This place
watch this
is
now.
still
Kern
practically
County.
destroyed after Hurricane Ian. This is it. You're looking at.
We're gonna have to
no
name
lights,
them
there's
generic
nothing.
names.
It's still just
you know,
absolutely
like panel 1, panel
in
2,
kind of
and panel
ruins,
3.
if you will. I'm not really sure if we can see that well. Josh, can we see that well on there?
All right.
He's saying not really, so we'll kind of move on a little bit. But I wonder.
We don't have that done yet. What are we looking at? Kensington Park? Where is that? It's terrible, man. I can't believe this is modern day America, dude. I mean, look at this. How is it that we live with billionaires and people are living this way on the street? Explain that to me. How do we have a government that collects billions of dollars in taxes and sends 120 billion to the Ukraine, and we have this? How is it that we have a government that brings in illegal immigrants by the boatloads and doesn't do shit to help these people? Explain that to me, please, because I don't understand it. And every day I wake up, I get more and more confused because this ain't right. It's just not right. It's not too bad of a background track either, really. I mean, it's a sad thing, but these parkour guys, man, idiots. When it goes good, it goes really good, but boys and girls, hang on, I'll be right back. She's not entirely wrong. But that's why she married me. She likes that shit. I have her as a prisoner out in the middle of a cabin in the fucking woods. And she's a cripple. She can't drive anymore. Oh, this guy's gonna get his fingers slammed. Concrete. Smoke signals. You gotta get outside. Otherwise you'll burn the house down. I'm real worried. You'll never get away. She'll never get away. So in the off chance that somebody's still here, hanging out with us, I don't understand why, but I kind of do. I really enjoyed hanging out with Jeff Mack. Long hours into the night, man. We were lonely, man. Yeah, man. I started, streamers became my friends. And that's the way it continues to be, man. I don't make friends well. I don't keep friendships well. Not because I'm a bad friend, but not everybody understands what friendship means. Not in my opinion. So, to me, friendship is kind of a thick and thin sort of thing. It's supposed to be. Otherwise, you're not a friend. I mean, you're just an acquaintance. It'll be a little philosophical, but I've said it before. That's why I test relationships, man. I'm a hard man to get to be friends with. Next time somebody says, man, starts chumming up to me, it's like, man, I don't know. When I start to get friends with somebody, I start to really, really pour my heart out. And sometimes that involves a lot of writing. And freaks people out, I think. That's fine. And it's worse when I get lubricated. You know what I mean? All right, let me try and see if I can do that. I've got a live. Well, we're on the wrong one. So let's do this. Do it that way. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's go back to that. Let's go duplicate. Let's call it Live B. Oh, shit, Live A, okay. Get rid of this, man. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. God, carrying a baby in that shit. Are you streaming me? You're probably the only streamer. Oh, well, I got somebody else. Yeah, man. Kids. What the hell are kids doing in a place like this? See, Child Protective Services should be involved, man. Yeah, man. We'll hang for a little bit, man. Watch the zombies. Nice to be hanging out tonight, man. Yeah, I know this isn't like exciting, but it's fascinating. And it's live, it's real, it's what's going on. Open air drug deals. People living on the street. I mean, we might catch somebody taking a dump, man. I mean, and then, like, look at this guy casually walking around, Mr. Bun Boy over here, like, swinging his shit over here. What a, oh, man. And, you know, this isn't even Portland, Oregon. You know, this is Pennsylvania. There was a Mexican public service announcement that I just recently saw, and it was about Philadelphia. Because of all the trank. And I don't know if you've ever seen anyone on trank before. D-Dog, man. All right. We got you. I don't know if you ever seen trank, but God, man, that's the zombie stuff. That's where they're like in all sorts of weird positions. Very bizarre. I mean, can you imagine what your muscles would be locked up, you know? I'm sure they do flop over from time to time. Yeah. Yeah, well, it doesn't respond to Narcan. Isn't that right? That's one of the biggest problems is because there's a horse tranquilizer in it. That's trank, yeah. And which one is the one that makes your flesh rot? That's trank also? God, it's like necrophilia. I mean, or no, not necrophilia. What do they call that? The flesh rotting disease, like a MRSA disease. It's like that. Look at this. This is just unbelievable. It's very sad, you know. And so it's like, why am I live streaming? There's nobody watching, you know, but I'm doing this because somebody else is going to stumble on this later, right? And hopefully that you're going to see this. And I don't know, we live in a world where it's so easy because there's kids on the other side of the damn world suffering, or these people. But this is, look at this shit, man. People sleeping out on the street in Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania is known for snowstorms, dude. What are these fucking people going to do in the winter? What are they going to do in the winter, Jen? I mean, you know, that blanket ain't going to do it. Not in a couple of feet of snow, man. You know, Pennsylvania's right next door to Ohio. You get a lot of snow. And where is this place? They're just like all hanging out. I wonder what this is. What that building is. But I mean, every one of them, God, man, drugged out, not normal. Every one of them. Zombies. just don't understand it. Working class Irish Catholic community. So this is a suburb. I wonder what corner this is on, like what building this is. Is that a parking garage? What the hell is that? We have let our country go to shit. I don't remember this stuff when I was a kid, man. I mean, I remember one time, I mean, you remember that one time you said you got lost? And I got lost in Chicago one time. Holy Christ. I mean, just miles of, you know, but there was that one night you and I went to Cleveland, Ohio, down in the flats. And we just decided to go up, like, I don't know what road ever that was, and 1st, 2nd, 3rd Street, all the way out. And these two guys get out of the car and started whipping the shit out of each other. We had at a stoplight. We had to race out of the intersection. And, yeah, crazy shit. But, you know, it's worse than that now. I like that opacity. I like the opacity behind the window, that better than the outline. Oh, it's you know, and I spend time praying every night before I go to sleep, and I suggest that you do as well. And pray to the right God. Pray to the one that sent Jesus to die for your sins. That being said, these people need prayer more than anything. And I tell you, I mean, how is prayer going to help them? Well, if we all pray that maybe something changes in this country, these people can get help. Beyond that, I mean, shit. I don't know that you and I taking sandwiches down to Kensington Park is going to get any of this shit done. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need people with facilities, right? I mean, I understand libertarianism, but you know, they decriminalize the drug, so the act of having the drug is no longer criminal, so they can't put them in a building where they continue to do the criminal thing, right? Which at that point, treatment becomes a viable option. But when you decriminalize it, you can't hold them, right, against their will. They choose to do this. So they choose to destroy their damn lives and become a fucking public nuisance. Now, I know that sounds heartless, but it's more heartless to let them fucking be out there. Every one of these people is living a pathetic existence. And to allow them continue to wallow in that patheticness, okay, is not fucking compassionate at all. At all. So yeah, man, we got some new friends, man. We got D-Dog. We got a new friend. Isn't that nice? He's on a Zoom call. D-Dog will be right back. Pipes a rest, since there ain't nobody here all day. Just watch the patheticness. Look at that zombie. Look at it. Like a Neanderthal. We're devolving, all right? Aimless too. Isn't it like, where the hell are they all going? They're all busy, fucking going somewhere. But every one of these people must be homeless, aren't they? So, or most of them. I mean, I can't believe all these motherfuckers are walking home from work. Maybe some of them are. I guess they're using the same streets too, walking through the same spaces. Oh, a bus station or a train still. Okay. been to those places. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think you nailed it. I'm really happy with the layout. I mean, of everything and how much time we've spent putting into it. The Chiron, the bottom, you know, and man, tonight, boy, we learned a lot tonight. This old brain doesn't work as, I don't know about it. I turned, well, I mean, I'm 60, and it just doesn't come quite as easy. But the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, 6 months we've been doing this, 7 months. Yeah, I feel like the rust is getting knocked off. And I got accomplished. I said, hey, we went live the last couple of days. We figured that out, right? And then you said, hey, I want to have multiple panels. And I'm like, okay, well, let's do it. And I had a little break from work tonight. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's harder, but I got it done in one night, and I got half of it done while I was live streaming, figuring it out. So, you know, that's not bad. I feel pretty good about that. Wow. Look at that guy smoking up or something right there. There he is. There he is. Getting high right there, man. Doing crack. Right fucking there. In the open. I don't know, but he ain't sucking on a vape. I'll tell you that. Oh, God, man. John Doe does. Gets on every day, just talks, puts whatever on, even if there's nothing exciting, puts some shit on, and he spills nonsense out of his head. And we watched that for hours on end. And so I can spew nonsense out of my head for hours on end. I can. And to tell you the truth, I think the nonsense that comes out of my mind is a little more coherent than John Doe. I don't know if you guys have ever seen John Doe as a streamer. I actually quite fond of the guy. We started watching him in 2020, but he just gets ripping stoned, man. And just who knows? Remember that one time he got stuck on making? He started doing some stuff with picture within a picture within a picture within a picture, and he got really stoned and was just like echoing and he was just making sounds for hours on end, just totally entertaining himself. So Manhattan, is there anything going on it? We have one piece. Yeah, I can put it in for you. No, you can't reach it. It's like up high, you shorty. I can get it for you. John Doe banning from me. Oh, he gets. Yeah, he gets randy sometimes, man. He just gets all bitchy and shit. And I don't know if you've ever watched Steve Oatley. I pissed him off once or twice, and he threw my ass. He had one of his mods throw me out of the chat too, because I was calling him a whiny ass bitch or pussy, or is he worked up tonight? That's what I said. He's worked up tonight, and he got all pissed off. threw me out of the chat. Man, to get banned by John Doe, man, canceled by John Doe, it means guy's nobody anyway. Yeah, but he's fun. He's. No, I haven't either. You think Steve's a Fed, huh? You know, that's an interesting take. I have never thought about that. And I'll have to put that in my pipe and smoke it a little bit and think about it. I don't know. He's driving some truck. What really confuses me, I tell you about Steve Oatley, okay, is Steve Oatley is married to this libtard wife. Okay? And yeah, I said it. And, I'm in a one-flesh relationship with my wife. Okay? And I just don't understand how one can have two separate, we live in a country that's completely ripped in two. And we've got a Venn diagram that doesn't overlap anymore. You understand what I'm saying? The two shall not meet right in the middle, right? And I don't understand how two people can be in a marriage that way and live two separate lives kind of being together, but one having like radically, liberal views and the other being conservative. And so what he does is he panders to her, right? And he says some of the stupidest shit sometimes. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. But then people would give him grief about it, that he's, being Libby. And then he loses his mind. And what I don't like about Steve is he beats the shit out of his viewers. I don't get it. He's just fucking mean to people. And I don't understand that. I mean, I've had people, trolls in there, and it's like there's a better way to handle trolls. He just loses his fucking mind. So I don't like watching angry people, But if you think he's a Fed, dude, for what purpose? Like, and how is he? What's he? I don't. Yeah, is he gathering intel? What do you think? Flesh that out for me a little bit. And you can tell me what you can think of my cool power feed boom. It's like it's a gift from my wife. It's a beautiful piece of equipment. You can't see it as good because the light's on. Wait, hey, it's late. We can go with some lower lighting. Yeah, but that's cool. I'll turn this one up a little bit. I got lighting options, dude. Bring this one a little closer to me. No, you don't have to. Sorry. Because we can't leave our viewers hanging. We're gonna have the incomparable hippie chick filling in. No, there's no pad, so don't be whacking on the table. Say again?
Can you back out so we can see the other 4 panels?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is Kensington Park, drug den. Very sad. Yeah, I'm talking too loud.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
I'm adjusting the level for you.
Yeah. It's so sad what our country has come to. And maybe 10 or 15 years ago I would have been more harsh toward them, not as sympathetic about whatever the plight is. But it's like the government's spending all this money anyway. Why not spend it on trying to do... Here's my solution. We need to build a very big building in every area where there's like a really bad drug problem, and half of the building is for a psych ward and half of the building is for drug rehab,
existed before and up to now that has a psych ward on another floor? Yeah. Send everybody into fucking treatment? Yeah, that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That would be good.
Would it?
Yeah.
Oh, I
but
thought
we
you were
don't do
making
that
fun
because
of
we
me.
decriminalized all this shit.
Right,
Clearly-
because we don't want to make people feel bad.
these people need to be committed.
Yeah.
They do. They need to be committed. Right. Put that there. Don't move your laptop. There, that's cool lighting. Look at that. All right, let me go get you your. What am I getting you?
Give me a piece of pizza.
All right, pizza in the morning. Be right back. It's entertaining.
Okay. All right. So in panel 1, we have the Kensington Park, the drug thing that we've been talking about. Panel 2, we have Hurricane Watch. It's currently heading toward Tallahassee. It's a category 4, I believe, last I heard. I have family in the southwest area, Fort Myers, Sarasota area, and they're getting a lot of rain, but otherwise things are pretty okay. Then in panel 4, we have epic fails, which are always so much fun to watch. See? Look at that. Falling out of the UTV or ATV. Let's see, but if I can find, oh great, now we got a commercial. If I can find some riots, I will definitely put them up because that's my bag. I love violence. I love watching it. I love redemption, and I want to see our side fight back a little bit. I don't mean like hurt people really, but hurt people a little. Maybe they'll back off. They're not going to back off. The leftists just lost their mind. So I was looking at recipes and now I have all this food that keeps coming up in my thing. I think it's going pretty good. Oops, I keep opening another window. So if anyone is out there listening, tell me your thoughts on Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm very curious. My thoughts, I might as well give my thoughts. My thoughts is that I'm always going to vote for Trump. There's really not much I think that he can do that would get me to change my mind about him. And I like Vivek a lot. I hope he is genuine and I hope he's not a plant and, you know, all that other stuff. You got to forget the fact that he's only 38 years old and, you know, they say, oh, he flip-flopped. Well, you know, Donald Trump flip-flopped too. People evolve and people change. So I like Vivek Ramaswamy for president in the future, maybe 2028. I like Byron Donalds for vice president a lot. I like Trump and Byron Donalds. That's my pick. But I don't know about DeSantis. I really used to like him a lot. And I think he's done a lot of great things in Florida. But
no, he's you want to talk about a fucking, not a Fed, but a sellout. That son of a bitch.
Rhino.
DeSantis is owned. In my opinion, DeSantis is owned. He's owned by the uniparty, the big billionaire money machine bullshit. All of it, I think.
Paul Ryan and Jeb Bush.
Yeah, man. It's that whole machine, rhino machine.
Yeah. I mean, if he's the nominee, I'll vote for him over a Democrat, but I don't like him. He should have waited his turn.
Yeah, well, it was totally disloyal. Totally. Yeah, I think this is a bus station here in Kensington Park we've been watching live. And we're in our nighttime stream mode. We've got our pulsing lights and energy, infusing our evening time. We're watching some epic fails in panel 3, which are always fun to watch. They're not pandas, but you know. Yeah, just chilling, being casual, watching the plight of the homeless in Kensington Park, watching people. I don't know, I tell you, it makes me grateful if one damn thing, right? You know, any one of those could be us. This shitbag world of it. You know, I've been down, man. We've both been down. And I'm telling you, sometimes it feels like a couple of times we could have been steps away from being homeless. Almost feels like, you know? One or two other wrong decisions, right? Then you screw up and bam. I've heard stories of people like New York Stock Exchange broker people, and down on their luck and whatever, and the next thing they're living with their kid. And remember that guy that was living in the subway, he's washing up in the washroom, subways in New York. So, didn't you have something else for me besides epic fails or something? Just switch me out. Give me New York City Live. Like this, look. Watch this. Control C. Control V. Look at that. No, surely that's not right. Copy that again. It cannot be right. persuasion is, but if you're here and you're not, well, if you're liberal, you'll have your challenges here. But we won't throw you out, you know. Don't mind a little conflict from time to time. Have a thick skin. Kensington Park, Jen, has a computerized looping music, like Jeff Mack uses. And so I just got it in the background and I turned it down. But it's over the top of this guy's narration. Yeah, it's kind of slick. Yeah, it's very convenient. It's a nice unobtrusive background music. It's like you forget it's there. He's doing a nice job narrating. He's doing a nice job narrating.
Such as 157 Central Park Tower, 432 Park Avenue, and many, many more. And more to come, by the way. So check that book out. All right, let's cross the street. And actually, let's take you.
I don't know if anybody's been to New York City. I've been there a couple of times.
You can get the RW trains.
For a couple of different reasons. One time I was an inspector.
Tom, did you ever read?
And I was inspecting Chinese wok
I
manufacturers.
know Trump hype, but I loved the book as a kid. Absolutely. I have the Art of the Deal in my library. I absolutely read that book.
They had like 20 people living in the basement. Yeah, they all ran out, lifted the steel off this. You know, I'm like, where's the forklift? There's no forklift. It's just a damn alley.
Anyway, if you
25 Chinese guys came out, lifted like
very famous
4 tons of steel, 2 tons of steel off the back of a damn thing. I was amazed. Unloaded it on the floor and ran back down, slammed the door. Then the fire inspector came in. He got an envelope. Gave him an envelope. They gave me an old appliance to inspect.
Educational too for anybody who's looking.
The last one, same one they keep whipping out, you know.
Here in the city.
And handed me an envelope. Yeah, I took it back and turned it in.
Hey, Mike G.
I just didn't, you know.
I live in the region.
I was pretty green then, and I was scared. I didn't want to do that.
So much.
But you know, I've always had a
gorgeous.
pretty righteous streak in life, I guess.
Very, very beautiful.
Pretty honest, most of the time.
Now, speaking of massive megastructures, this is the one and only One Vanderbilt, right in front of us. This is another Class A office tower in New York City.
There's people out in the street staring at the sun through a mirror, you know, like that's gonna help. That's not gonna burn their eyes out, you know. I mean, they had drugged out people way back then, but it's worse. All the cities are worse.
Let's try to explore Park Avenue a little bit
Oh, God, look. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Well, we have 0 viewers now. Yay.
Hey, Robert is here. What's up? Robert's just let the developers make money.
He's fine. But you watch me all the time.
Business too. You know, a lot of times people
When I'm
will
waking,
say,
when I'm asleep, when I got clothes on, when I'm naked, you're always watching me. It creeps me out.
Let me tell you, a lot of
Stop it.
It's not a business for the faint of heart. It's a very, very dog-eat-dog.
So if you're just joining us or watching this as a rebroadcast,
you guys are going to find interesting.
we're watching some guy ODing in the, I guess, the stairs of the bus terminal in Kensington Park.
432 Park Avenue, Harry Macklow.
And we're walking around New York City because we can do that through the miracles of modern technology.
Dedicated units at 432 Park.
Walk around this guy
Company called CIM
in New York City. I think that's so cool.
Just put his personal units into foreclosure. So Harry Macklow
Yeah, me too.
could potentially lose his personal units at 432.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
Developing.
I enjoyed getting it all set up and playing with it. You know what I could do before we go to bed? I'll set up the
We're going to continue to walk over
Live A, Live B, and Live C.
This is the green line that goes all the way to the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
Right, what I'm going to do is,
Hey, Kirby,
see
when
what,
will
watch,
interest rates affect corporate
duplicate,
stock prices?
right, and I'm going to call it
Are reaching all-time highs. Well, Kirby, you make a good point. We talked about that at the
Live
beginning
C,
of the live
right?
stream, but let's do a quick review again.
And then now we're
Today,
on Live
markets
C,
bounced back in a
and
big
we just
way.
go.
S&P 500, NASDAQ, and the Dow all higher. Now, the S&P is back above the 50-day moving average. But what Kirby is saying, right, so for
See?
anybody who's
Then this is
sort of
left.
unfamiliar, if you go to my Twitter handle,
Right?
okay, if anybody has Twitter,
Look how easy that
just
was.
Google Twitter Walks Wall Street, and you can follow me on Twitter. I retweeted
Now, I lost
one
my,
of my favorite
I lost the
financial
background
clips
music on this one.
by Bill Ackman.
If I would have left
And
it
Bill
behind
Ackman
this screen, I could have kept the
is a very
background
famous
music.
hedge fund manager.
Which, if we
He
keep that
manages Pershing
zombie
Square.
watch on camera 1
And in the clip,
in the future,
which is very famous, very
I could put
famous,
it back in
interview,
here.
Reuters interview. Bill Ackman says, and this is just sort
This
of
one.
finance 101. Investing in layman's terms and keeping it simple in simple terms is all
Copy.
about figuring out
And if I
the
go back
present
over
value
here,
of a company's future cash flows over time. And if you can't determine that, then you can't invest. And interest rates are a big, big part of this. Because as interest rates go up,
see, look,
this is an awesome shot of the Chrysler building. Look at that. That is an insane shot of the Chrysler building. Now, as interest rates go up, generally speaking, the present value of a company's future
and then I
cash
could just
flows
turn that one
goes
on and
down.
off.
So if we do a little bit
And
of a
that'll
review,
always have the
let's rewind
background
all
music
the way
in it.
back to 2021.
If I turn it off,
This
though,
is
it
when
turns
a lot
off
of
the
those
sound.
high beta tech stocks
So I would have to
were
hide
going
it
crazy. Think about a lot of the Cathy Wood, ARC Innovative growth
like
stocks.
this.
Now, these companies had very little earnings, sometimes even no earnings
There.
at all. But when interest
Now it's
rates
a little
are
inset.
artificially suppressed, that allows
And it's
these
behind,
companies
say,
to
look.
go through multiple
And then if I wanted
expansions.
to
So they
come forward, I
trade
just
at
pop it up.
ridiculous price to sales, ridiculous price to earnings multiples.
But now the music stays
But
on,
once the Federal Reserve
whether I put it
started to
behind
go
or
from
this way.
quantitative easing,
So I got that. It's a nice background music.
well, guess what happened?
It's
The market had to adjust for the
Hmm?
interest rate increase. So as interest rates pushed higher,
it's like this
the present
droning,
value
you
of all
know.
of those high beta tech stocks, future cash flows, they became worth less and less and less. You know, look at the yield curve right now as we walk directly down the middle of the street, taking in this gorgeous view of the Chrysler building. The 1-year treasury yield is almost at 5.5%. I mean, that is ridiculous. So if you have $1 million, you just bought yourself a $55,000 a year income. That's pretty significant, right? So rates are competing with equities. So as equities start to go down, as interest rates go up and vice versa.
Oops.
Equity valuations declining. And what I would say is we kind of already had that, but you have to look under the hood of the market. The S&P 500 is a market capitalization weighted indice, which means the top 10 stocks, if you think about Apple, it makes up almost 7% of the weighting in the S&P 500. So it really masks a lot of the damage under the hood. Take a look at the Russell 2000, ticker symbol IWM, that is the ETF for the Russell 2000. That still hasn't made a new all-time record high. So there's a lot of stocks that have a lot of damage here, and we've sort of had this lopsided recovery where a lot of these big, super mega cap tech stocks have been doing really good, but some of the smaller companies have been absolutely crushed. Now, the reason why I brought you guys here, you guys see this building right here? You see where all the TVs are on? There's a TV on here and there's a couple lights on here. So I actually, on the second floor, I'm selling this unit.
Oh, hey, man, what's going on?
A unedited
It's good to see you, Mike.
tour of that particular unit. Just type
just
point
trying to figure out how to get multiples going at the same time and build some different scenes, and figured out how to do all that without the headers. And
of a
busy tonight, man.
Inclusive property tour that I filmed of my newest listing. Let me know what you
looking
guys
at
think
zombies in
of
Kensington
the
Park.
I'll tell you a little bit about the building.
Yeah, there's the labels.
This is called Gramercy
You gotta
North.
copy all the
It's at
labels
139 East 23rd Street, right here on the corner of Lexington Avenue and 23rd Street. Now, every single unit in the building has its own
Hey, man, you get
dedicated
there.
floor. And you have a private
It's
elevator
been fun.
that will
I
bring you up
learned a
directly
lot
into
today.
your open concept
Learned a
living
lot.
room and kitchen. It's about 1,500
Learned how to manage
square
all the
feet of
sound. I got all the
interior space.
sound on the side with
And unit number
OBS on the,
the one that I'm selling, has about 500
so I can take the news
square feet.
sound up and down on different ones, turn them on and off.
And if you want to
have multiple things going at the same time. So yeah, it was good. I stopped being scared of doing some things. I just ran in there. Well, that's usually what I do. I just go in there and start doing shit and looking it up on Google and figured out how to do it. And so. So yeah, we just watched somebody OD live on TV, man. Pretty disgusting, really.
These units more appropriately. So the more feedback we get, the better it's going to be for the consumer. So let us know. Type exclamation point 23 in the chat. But it's right here. You know what? Let me see if I have.
It was interesting. It was kind of like a Rubik's Cube. You know, I've been watching people do this for a long time. And so I threw the couple of simultaneous YouTube channels in there with tabs. And I was managing multiple browser tabs and figured out in the end that OBS does all that shit inside. You can interact with the YouTube windows like right in OBS. And that was really helpful.
We'll do an impromptu live tour.
Yeah, do you? Yeah, it's Kensington is, it's like, wow.
Hey, the Golden Goose.
We were talking about it. It's like how there's billionaires. There's a government that we pay taxes to. And these people, because of the agenda, the prosecutors that decriminalized all this. Otherwise, these drug use, this open drug use would be illegal. And they get put someplace. And then you make a facility where you go to drug treatment and part of it's in an asylum. I mean, it's not that hard to solve the damn fucking problem. It's just there's no will to do it. No political will.
In 1 year, but severely underestimate what they can accomplish in
How do you like the new boom mic, man? Isn't this cool? I think this is the coolest shit right here, boy. No, it's fine. Yeah. Let me copy some of these things over. Yeah, let me know if you need help.
Underestimate what you could accomplish in 10 years. So always try to have a long-term frame of mind. Yeah, Melds, that was on Twitter today.
Whoa, hang on.
This is 3rd Avenue now. This is going to be a completely new neighborhood that you guys really haven't seen. It's going to be much more quiet. You're going to have a lot of bars. You're going to have a lot of restaurants. Much different than the...
Got some labels going on this one too. This angle. Yeah, the cool part is I was live streaming, putting all this together live. So it was cool. I didn't sit around and build it first. I just did it on the fly. A lot of it. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a Rodecaster. And I decided when I started this venture, I said, well, I'm going to invest in some really good equipment, you know. And I bought the matching mic that went along with the Rodecaster 2. And I've got the filters on, Bright and a couple others. The Rodecaster's phenomenal. I love it. It's got all this other shit too. Oh, that's. It's got all the keypads and all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna make any noises, but anyway, but yeah, the mic, very happy with it, and I'm really thrilled that I did, because when I started to do the podcast and all that kind of stuff, you know, it didn't take off as quick as I expected it to, and it still isn't, and it's not anywhere near monetized. So I realized in the middle of all of this, I'm going to need to get a job to finance all this project, this Truth Slinger project stuff. So thank God I did invest in some good equipment, because I came in one day from drinking coffee and I said, you have to find me a way to sell my voice. And so then I got hooked up with ACX, reading books, and then Upwork, and I started doing voiceover, and the rest is history. So, and it, within a relatively short period of time, I was able to increase my earning potential because I got better quickly, and my voice was pretty smooth. Yeah, really good. So the only problem I've had with it a little bit, one time I had clicks, a lot of clicks in my recording, and wasn't quite sure where that came from. I think it happened twice. A reboot took care of it. I haven't had it come back since. So yeah, I'm grateful to have the good equipment. It makes a big difference, and I've been kind of hoping that, you know, my voice, especially with this live streaming stuff, and I think Jen's got a pretty pleasant voice too, especially through all the same. She's got the same mic, and that, you know, it's pleasant to listen to, and people just kind of, you know, put us on even when they go, you know, make dinner or do whatever, and just let it stream, man, and get the minutes going and get the view time up there, and, you know, get monetized, man. That's my ultimate goal. You know, I might work my ass off to have that and have the rug pulled out right from under me, you know, in the end, but who knows. But, you know, you can't think like that. You got to just go with your dreams. And, you know, back it up like on Rumble, and I'm probably going to start uploading, now that I got screaming upload speed, I'm going to start uploading stuff, I think, to Twitter. I got a blue check mark. I think that was worth the $8 a month. And I guess it allows me some, I haven't even begun to check into what it allows me to do. But that space, I think, you know, Tucker's making good use of it. And I think that it's going to continue to get built out. So I think it's time to get involved in it, because YouTube, man, you just never know. You know, they might come along and age restrict my, this video, right? Or they don't like it when I show any violence of any black people on white people at all. They get real upset when I do that. And I've had them say, hey, you know, age restriction, we're going to do this, and it's no big deal. It doesn't count against you as a strike, until they do it a few times, and then they go, oh, now it does bother us enough that you don't have a channel anymore. So. Yeah, you know, but it worked, man. It worked. You know, I think that the biggest thing is is the hum, and I'm not quite sure where it's coming from, but you know, God, you got a sea of CB equipment there and stuff. I don't know, but it worked, and the point is, you got the message across, right? And look, I mean, you got a bunch of people that are listening and following you, and hooking up and talking and having conversations, and so, you know, it achieved its purpose, man. So that kind of stuff can always be fixed later. That's what I was telling myself, you know, that if I would give any advice to any podcasters, live streamers, or people that decide they want to do something like this, you know, and try it, is, man, every day, you know, just get up, man, and do it again. Just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. And there's going to be some days where it's like, man, I just can't figure this shit out. You know? But there's going to be other days that are going to be great. A huge, you know, and you just keep going, man. You get up, you do the same damn shit every day, no matter what the results are. And it's like that with life, I think. I liked it, man. I really enjoyed being on the show. I had so much fucking fun. I did. It was like you were my first big break, dude. And I mean, you know, I got some subscribers off of it, and the biggest thing is I got encouragement. I got encouragement that people enjoyed what I had to say, and that. And that, you know, it was worth listening to. Oh no, man, I'm not seeing any relief in the cost of living, man. I'm not seeing, nothing comes down, man. It all goes up. You know, once they change the label on that damn toilet paper at the Family Dollar from $1 for 4 rolls to $1.50, that's 50% more, and it ain't coming back down. The gas maybe comes back down, but yeah, man, this rig, when I first got it, man, I had a lot of fun. When I was a kid, I played with microphones and shit and recording and did all that stuff when I was a kid. And sort of, I mean, a lot of my dreams have come true here. I just, you know, it seems the way it goes. And so when I first got this thing, I was like throat singing and doing all sorts of. I've got a pretty good baritone voice. I can go pretty low. So it's not comfortable to be down that low, but I can do it. Oh yeah.
Tim Lee's Maui real estate is being bought up by Oprah.
Maui real estate is being bought up by Oprah. Is that what he said?
Well, I mean, from a lot of the comments that I'm seeing in the chat, it seems like, you know, the basics, right? Food, shelter are still very, very highly elevated.
Yeah, man, gas prices are still through the roof. They're going up again.
A grocery store.
They going up where you're at? Gas prices yet?
Target.
Oh, did you have a good day at work? Was everything cool, man? You didn't tear up any other cars with that excavator, did you?
You walk into the store, you're like, I just was
Spent about half that time walking that fucking excavator over wherever the hell you used
that's
it,
the
man.
new standard. Does anybody remember You know, the
That reminded me of the
old
one
you'd
time
walk
I
into
walked
the
that
grocery
excavator
store
over from my next
just to
door
get a
neighbor's
few
property,
things,
man. It took
right?
me
Oh,
like
I gotta
half
run
an
to the
hour to
store,
get
gotta get
there.
a few things, and you're expecting to spend like $10, maybe. Now that new, I would say, barrier.
What is it wasn't
is like
normal
20
about the
bucks.
fire? Because what I
And you're
heard,
like, I just
AT,
got
was
milk,
that
eggs, and a few other items.
let me
And
turn
I
this
just
guy
spent
down.
$20, and I have no idea what.
I heard that well, you know, all the Democrats came out and immediately they said, it's climate change, man. You know, like of course they were going to, right? And because climate change starts fires. No, stupid people leaving brush around all over the place and poor ass piss poor management. But I heard there was an electrical fire. It was caused by the downed power lines. And I went, okay. My initial reaction was, egg on your face, fuckers, right? Take your climate change and shove it up your ass, sideways. But then I saw these guys, and I don't know if this is the stuff you're referring to, but I saw a couple of guys walking around, and they were live streaming, because I've been interested in the live stream, so we were just looking. We stumbled upon these two guys with a camera that found a car, and so this car got incinerated, right? And it was right on the edge of a grass fire that was in a gravel parking lot that was right up next to the grass field, right? And the grass fire came like right up to it, but it didn't touch the car. And the entire other side of the road was not burned at all. And the fence posts in the middle of the field that was burned were still there and standing. So even if, you know, now I know that a car has plenty of other stuff that burns, but the car, the aluminum was all cast aluminum. I've never seen anything like it. I'm a physicist, okay, not a chemist. But instead of puddles of molten aluminum, which I would expect in a very hot fire, this aluminum was like crumbly, right? Never seen anything quite like it. Well, yeah, the windshield too melted into a puddle of fucking glass. Okay. Now, in a marginally hot fire, I bet you the glass would explode and shatter into multiple pieces. But to see it like a melted fucking Jolly Rancher candy, that was weird. That was fucking weird. And, you know, so I started thinking to myself, well, what the fuck could that be? And yeah, directed energy weapon comes to mind, right? I just did a YouTube video voiceover on one that's at the fucking in Antarctica, buried 6 feet under the fucking ice. Giant goddamn ring of fucking emitters. I don't remember how many goddamn kilowatts the son of a bitch puts out. But
which is a pretty big perk, right? Because
yeah,
Chicago real estate is almost as expensive as New York.
right?
I mean,
the fuck is going on, right? And yeah, that would spark a damn fire, right?
So you don't have to have
Sure as shit would. No evidence either, except a really weird looking car.
as an intern. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and this is kind of a sidetrack, okay, but I watched a whole thing about a guy who's been talking about all the area 51, 59, whatever the fuck it is. I don't know, 51. That basically that we've had holographic technology since like the late 50s. And that
your company has to do an emergency
in 2024 there's going to be an alien invasion. Okay. And this is really out there shit.
Since your team is using Jira to manage work, you've got nothing to panic
and it's not going to be in a real alien invasion. It's going to be holographic images, and then we're going to have more traditional kind of weapons, or maybe some of these directed energy weapons and things, do things that look like aliens are doing things, right? Now you say to yourself, wow, that's freaky shit, right? But
Wow.
he was also predicted, and this was in the 90s, that a pandemic would break out in the exact year that it did. Okay? And the whole guise of this alien invasion is going to be to get everybody to concede that it's a really good idea to all go under one world government.
You know, maybe another 8 months we'll find you guys a new house.
Yeah, I mean, definitely good news for them.
Yes, it would. You bet it would. People would lose their fucking minds. And what's with all the increased talk of aliens all the time, dude, right?
Because right now, a lot of
You're not, see, now you're thinking,
I should say, Bitcoin
you know,
ETFs have really egregious fees.
something's, and I just don't think we're going to go through a normal election, dude. I don't think it's going to happen. Something major is going to happen. There's too many forces going on here. And you know, we've even got state senators talking about Event 201, okay? So, you know, Event 201 is not a fucking conspiracy theory either, right?
I think it'll be good for the consumer. So good news all around, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know none of it's going to be good, right? It's all, everything is going to change so radically that everybody's fucking head is going to spin. And, you know, oh, forgive me for thinking I'm a lunatic. I don't know. I told you while you were at work today, man. And I'll just fucking say it, you know, right now. I mean, I burned up some viewers, man, you know, and I'm not naming any names. You know who you are out there if you tuned in. And if you do, and, you know, whatever, I forgive you. But damn, on Sunday night, I was, you know, lubricated. And, which is what I do sometimes, right? I don't get ridiculous, stupid-ass drunk. I never do. I drink, and I usually get more, I get highly communicative, right? And now that I thought I had some new friends, and I thought we had passed some certain point, that they were basing their relationship with Christ, and I am too, and so that kind of imposes a certain set of rules on a relationship. And man, I was just right in the middle of pouring my damn heart out, actually, about burning up relationships and saying that, which is why this channel exists, because I can just talk about this shit. And if you want to tune out, you can fucking tune out. But that more and more and more every day, I feel like I'm living in a dystopian reality. I feel like I'm in a bunker. I feel like I'm here as a voice of truth. I'm a harbinger. I'm a harbinger. And I'm a watchman on the wall. And I'm screaming my ass off, okay, getting people to try and understand, wake the hell up. Because things are going to change so radically, right? And so I try and tell people about this experience that I'm having, because every day the dystopianism becomes more and more and more prevalent to me, such as these flashes that I feel like I'm living in a fiction movie, which I just happened to read one. And I do have an overactive imagination, or an active one. I don't know if it's overactive, but so, you know, I was talking about how these things, the patchwork gets larger and larger, the times that I feel like I'm in this alternative reality, or a reality that has some new layer over the top of it that I've never seen before. Some overlay, some spiritual vision, as it were, over the top of all of this shit. And that the patchwork is becoming more solid. I mean, the times that I'm feeling normal, right, is hey, D-Dog, what's up, man? Good to have you back. The times where I'm feeling this dystopianism is more and more and more, and the times where I feel normalcy, right? The normalcy bias we all have. Like, you're crazy. Your ATM card will work every day, and, things will continue to march on, and you're being an alarmist. That stupid little normal fucker that's in people's heads. That is dangerous right now. And, shit, I'd much rather be prepared and find out I was fucking wrong about all of this. And that we have a normal election and Donald Trump becomes president and they go throw those fuckers in jail, right? But I don't think it's going to happen because those people don't want to go to jail. And because they don't want to fucking go to jail, they'll kill people. They'll kill people. Of course they will. Just look, you've seen the Clinton hit list, haven't you? Holy shit, that documentary I watched on the Clintons and the Arkansas drug machine and the airports and the plane, they had false doors at the front of the nose cones on the airplanes and all sorts of shit.
There's a lot of wealthy and rich people that go to school in New York City. Now,
and these elite fuckers, man, they're all perverts, man. All of them. P3DOs, buddy.
NYU's a really good school.
P3DO.
Really good school. It's a very expensive school, though.
So your Zoom call go okay, D-Dog?
Now, as we come to the corner, there's actually going to be some interesting new development.
What do you guys think? You think we're going to make it to an election? I'm serious. Most of the mainstream media is acting like, of course we will. Yeah, it's not going to be an election like any other. No, it ain't. It's going to be off the hook, man.
Now, a lot of these apartment buildings here on 14th Street, a lot of them are older buildings.
Man, I enjoyed hanging out with Mike at work today. I thought that was really cool. I'm fascinated by live stream, man. I thought it was like, man, you're at work, you fucking live streaming. I thought that was so cool. Got to see a Florida construction site with all the down houses and shit. And I don't have to tromp out there and all the heat and shit. You do it for me. And plus, we get to hang out together while you're at work. That's cool. So your boss doesn't ever give you shit about that or nothing? Does he? Does he know? I mean, I suppose you can drive the damn thing clearly, operating it well.
Hey, Ren 1018, good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight. On this very humid day in New York, Lady Sarita said, Tom, did you discuss the New York City water main break?
Nice. Nice. That's really good.
There was about 1.8 million gallons of water that spilled and flooded the 1, 2, and
What do you do, D-Dog? Is that part of your job, or is that just your passion?
Now, I was actually going to take the train today, but I wound up walking to work. But yeah, you're right. Now, that's another problem, right? We talked about that a lot, but the thing with the city, it's very old, right? A lot of the infrastructure here is very old and is going to need to be replaced. So the pipe was well over 100 years old, and it exploded and it released over almost 2 million gallons of water onto the New York City subway.
You ain't shitting. I went and tried to get a boss.
This is such a unique
Nice.
development right here. 6th Avenue, West
Hey,
14th Street.
I've read it.
Those windows are huge.
I'm by no means a constitutional expert, but I do have my opinions on few things. Number one is number one. If they can shut down your churches and shut down your Freedom Assembly And if they don't like what you fucking have to say, they can censor you on social media. You can pretty much wipe your ass with the First Amendment. The Second Amendment, if you pull out your gun and shoot somebody and you get prosecuted for it, you can wipe your ass with the Second Amendment.
And look at that. Amazing views of
If you get online, they can see everything you fucking do. And even if you don't sign a little waiver, they can see everything you fucking do. I don't know if you've heard about Tucker Carlson. So illegal search and seizure, that's gone. Right?
I think the Post is a better paper, in my opinion.
Double SOB, yeah, that's good, right? Yeah, man, I had a real prick. I worked for a firewood company, and the guy didn't know I was an expert in combustion. That's what I did for a living. I managed all the engineering departments and all the really big heating manufacturers and shit, and water heaters and furnaces and crap like that. Ream, Rude, Weather King, A.O. Smith, a lot of them. And so, yeah, we were building a wood-fired kiln. And so I'm working for like, $17 an hour. Actually, I did really good, and I negotiated up to 20, and then somebody had me find out I was making $2 more an hour, and all hell broke loose, a bunch of fucking peacocks. I did like literally, threaten to kick some fucking guy's ass, the foreman's ass. But anyway, I went with this boss. Holy shit, crotchety old man, pissing his pants half the time. To go pick up a trailer down in South Carolina. And we drove, I don't know how many fucking hours, 13 hours one way, 13 hours the other way. About an hour and 40 minutes into it at like 5:40 in the morning or 4 something in the morning. We got about it in a fucking fist fight. I almost got out. Thumbed home.
About 99.9%.
But
a little bit iffy, but
supposed Christian too. I don't know, man. So anyway, but I just don't, I'm not a manual laborer anymore. I mean, I'm good at it. I got rock hard doing that job. I lost about 20 pounds, man. Steel working, metal working. Bunch of shit I did there. But told him to fuck off and started this business.
Now, who here in the chat wears contact
Went out, got some credit, bought all the damned equipment,
for whatever reason, when it's super humid,
started a media company. And now I don't do boss either.
my contact lenses always get messed up.
So.
I'm not too sure why. It's like they move around way more when it's humid. Oh, wow, a lot of people. Jeff, Elizabeth. All right, we got a lot of people in the chat. Yeah, super annoying when that happens.
Well, you got to consider retirement, in my opinion, as a frame of mind. You see, I got a sign right up here. It says, retirement is when you stop living at work and you start to work at living, right? Fucking living takes work, dude. I mean, you lay down and fucking die. You stop working, you're gonna die. So you got to keep moving. You got to keep doing the shit, But my motivation is different, I don't.
Someone says, yeah, we don't have that humid.
I mean, I do it to earn a living, and I'm not wealthy by any means. I intend to be eventually, because I'm getting older, and I don't want to I want to have multiple streams of passive income, right, and then manage those. So I got to get those set up. We're working on that, publishing books and AI books and reading books, and so that I get passive royalty income. That's what I'd like to do, and other things, and hopefully monetize a couple of YouTube channels, and maybe even a faceless YouTube channel I wanted to do. But that takes work consistently on a daily basis, and I really don't have the time to farm it out or what do they call, automate it. And besides, I want to vertically integrate. If I'm going to do something like that, I want to get all the proceeds from it.
We talked about box earnings today. Aaron Levy.
Yeah, it is, and multiple streams of it. I wrote a book called Arms. Yeah, it takes, and it's. I'm 60, okay, and so I don't have it yet, and I'm bright, okay. I mean, I'm pretty smart, and but they say smart with one thing isn't always smart with another. I don't know. And maybe it just wasn't meant for me, up to this point, because God knew that I wouldn't be a good steward of, that kind of money. I mean, I did really well when I ran a CSA farming business. There was a couple of years there, man. I spent a lot of money. Stupid, a lot of money. And, but that was really it. I mean, I've never really, and then I had a windfall income of about 400 grand. And I'll tell you all about that some other day. That I worked for it, but it wasn't exactly in the way. Some former boss did a stupid thing and I got a settlement. But anyway, long story. But yeah, I invested that into the CSA business, and then that went belly up and bust. And when my dad left me a third of his money, and he gave the other third to each child, which still pisses me off, and my kids don't talk to me to this day. But he thought that would be the right thing to do. And I lost a lot of it, not lost, but spent a lot of it getting out of my business, my CSA business, because I had commitments, to customers. And so then we sold everything. We sold the house, and we had equity in the house, and we came in here, come up here, and I got a tractor. I've got a Jeep, 2010 Jeep, and I've got this cabin. And so that's good. I only have to worry about property taxes. So I got a lot of the Dave Ramsey shit going on. I'm carrying a little bit of debt now, but I'm already paid quite a bit of it off with this last book I read. And so the debt situation's coming back down, and I got a couple of, $600 credit cards to kind of float if I need gas for the generator, so I keep working, right? As long as I got that, I don't worry too much anymore about what I have on a daily basis, because I don't, I have a good work ethic, but I also have other priorities in life, right? So you can't work all the time. And you work on projects like this, So, but yeah, I've written a book myself, like from a sermon that I wrote many years ago called Call to Arms. It's about spiritual warfare. And I'm just almost there. I got like a chapter to add, short chapter to add. And then I'm about halfway done or a little more editing it. So I got to get that done. But I've been just trying to make enough money to, not lose a couple of clients, okay? And produce enough to make all this money and keep everybody satisfied. I was pulling my hair out for a few days. And it was going to be rough. It was about 8-10 days, man. I went down under. And I was lucky to even make a podcast, But it's starting to settle out now. And I'm starting to be able to wrap my head around how I can be an author, produce artificial intelligence books. And what I mean by that is you can write a whole book in a day. You got to clean it up a lot because artificial intelligence is very repetitive and things like that, but it makes the great bones for a book. And so hopefully what I'd like to do is I got a children's book I'm working on. I got a whole lot of projects on the fire. So it's kind of cool because my creativity is kind of going, which is part of it too, because I want to be happy doing what I'm doing. Work, to me, the biggest thing about work, especially when you're quote unquote retired, right? I'll turn that off. What in the world am I listening to? Oh, that's what I want to go away. So, yeah, keep all these things going and get to a point where I'd like to have, a whole bunch of books earning passive income and things like that. And that's what I was talking about. Yeah. You just got to love what you do, right? So if you don't love what you do, eventually you got to make some sort of plan to get out of it and get into something you do love. All right, man. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, kind of the music can get annoying and droning after a while. So I might turn on the weather and see what the hell's the lady saying about the weather.
Really good in terms of storm surge potential for tomorrow. It is at a lesser potential tomorrow.
Supposed to get about 8 feet of storm surge, I guess. Shit, I'll just lose the music for a while. I'm bored with it anyway.
especially as it progresses throughout tomorrow. More on that coming in just a little while.
And if you haven't done this already, you can take out your
So, yeah, you got to have fun at what you're doing. You got to love it. And I learned that lesson many years ago. You can't do it very long. You'll just say, fuck it, and you'll hang it up. And the older I get, the less patience I have with shit. Which is why I didn't last a summer at this firewood place. And I tried it again. I reorganized this guy's whole, anyway, never mind. So, yeah, that's not my scene, And so I redefined myself again. And I love it. I love what I do. I'm just absolutely thrilled with it. It's like a dream. And it's great. It's what feeds me. It's like I get on and do it, and I make my shows, and I talk about stuff, and I rant and all that. It's like therapy. I mean, really, honest to God, I need it. I need to do it. Well, I'm programmed to do it. I'm called by God to do it. So you got to do whatever it is the hell you got to do, And that goes back to loving what you do, I guess. And figuring out what that is that's different for everybody. It's a challenge. It's not easy, It took me. I'm still figuring it out, but I can tell you, I think I finally, this year was rough for us because I had physical challenges come in. My wife's been goofy for years. Didn't understand why she couldn't do any damn housework. I thought she was just a little bit overweight and she had balance issues and she didn't exercise enough. No, she's got like Parkinson's-y thing. It's called functional neurological disorder. Well, I didn't even know we had it until like 3-4 months ago. She just, I thought she was just a sissy, and when she like dirty stuff, she'd like she sees something, she tweaks, and she, I didn't know what the hell was wrong with her. Well, that kind of screws your whole, life up. I mean, as far as you don't know you're dealing with a problem, you can't deal with it. And so, yeah, so that was confusing. But once we got stuff like that figured out, everything seems to finally fall into place. Then I realized I couldn't be running around digging, ditches and septic systems with a backhoe, even though I love to run my tractor. And I made many comments that I'm a happy man spending an afternoon in the sunshine sitting on the back of a backhoe, right? Just thinking about shit, right? But now I get to think about shit and talk about it. I think about it all day long and make notes, and my wife aggregates the news, and I blast it out there and show this stuff that I think is interesting and that people need to know, and put my commentary on it. And I'm just to let you know who I am. A little bit of background about me is I'm a former Baptist preacher, okay. And before that, I was a physicist and a mathematician, right? That's what I'm schooled to do. But I also went and, master's and divinity and all of that at a very reputable seminary, a good one. And I preached for like 5 years in a Reformed Baptist church, pretty much almost every week. And so, and I mean, under the microscope of some hard ass sons of bitches, And so I know my theology pretty well. But that church blew apart because of sin. And so my relationship I've been hurt. I've been burned really bad by the evangelical church. Okay, but I'm still a Christian. And I've always said in the church, we all here because we ain't all there. It's kind of like they say in AA, right? And very similar. We all got loose screws, And which is why in a truly functional church you forgive each other, because you're all a bunch of you're just two nuts in the same sack when you're sitting in the same pew when you come down to it, right? Now I'm preaching to you now. You never heard a preacher like me, have you? See? I don't think Jesus gets upset about the reference of nutsack in the same sentence with his name. Right? There's a lot of people that would clutch their pearls right about now. But I don't think you are, right? No. So, I've realized the other day, man, Sunday, I went down and Sunday when I burned up my friends, my new friends. I went and it's much better when I've figured out that there's a certain way to drink, right? So I really like to drink good beer, and good beer isn't particularly high test, but it tastes good. And so I get, I just have a nice time. If I drink Natty Daddies, 8%ers, ooh. I get, more drunk. And like I said, I over communicate. I don't say inappropriate things, but I talk a lot. And I've tried to get better at not texting individual lines, blowing people's phones up. I've learned that blowing a phone up is a thing, okay? But you can't blow somebody's Twitter up for shit's sake, right? I mean, wrote some stuff kind of about some of the stuff I'm talking to you about, tell you the honest God truth tonight, And I tend to test friendships, right? I mean, I never stop thinking, ever, dude. The reason I drink sometimes is because I get to a point where, I don't know, I get under a lot of pressure or something's going on, and I kind of self-medicate, right? And, hey, man, what's up, Polarin? Nice to see you, dude. And so, yeah, I use those things to slow things down, right? But I've learned how to moderate it only to a point where kind of, if you will, the screaming stops. I'm not saying they're screaming in my head, but it's just fast. Like I'm wound tight, like a cheap watch. And especially when I have a difficulty digesting things, I use it. I mean, clearly use it to medicate. And, some people apparently just can't deal with that, right? And that's fine. I mean, but just say, "Oh, hey, dude, stop. Don't just ghost me, and just delete your damn account or some shit like that." That that doesn't make any sense to me. So, yeah, but I've pressed friendships right up front. Relationships, let's just say that, to see if there's a potential friendship involved, if I even bother. And I have up to my life at this point. Essentially, I feel like that I'm just supposed to walk alone, right? That I walk a path of a prophet. And I want to be careful when I say prophet because, well, no, I just want to clarify it because, I mean, some evangelicals will lose their damn mind, right? I'm not saying I'm fucking Isaiah, all right? But I may be. Who knows the books that are being written in heaven right now? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, all these sons of bitches I sat in a pew, not pastors, would tell me, you need to live like the characters in this Bible. You need to be like the characters in this Bible. And then I started being like the characters in the Bible, and they started freaking out. What do I mean by that? I don't know. I mean, I was blowing the alarm bells in an evangelical church about the descending culture and how we needed to engage and how we needed to have more classes about current events. Right? Well, how do you think that went? I'm not in that church anymore, right? I'm here. doing what? The same shit I was doing back then. I started a YouTube channel, man. Shit, almost 20 years ago, man, when YouTube wasn't even a fucking thing. And I got pissed off while I was at this evangelical church. And let me tell you the story, since I got your attention and people seem to be listening. They brought in this fucking ridiculous thing called a power team. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it. But it's these sons of bitches that, like ex-football players, just big meatheads, right? That have been converted to Christ, and they now follow Christ. And they bring these sons of bitches in, and they take, like, phone books and tear them in two. They blow up water bottles and explode them with the, you know, and they go, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Oh, excuse me. Shit. Drinking soda. I'm not drinking beer tonight. I'm about pickled, to tell you the truth. And they would do this stupid shit, right? And the pastor did this bypassing the committee that's supposed to vote and pay for this shit, right? And anyway, and so I'm like going, this is stupid, right? But if we want to evangelize to people that typically go to a monster truck rally, for example, it's not necessary to truck in 10,000 cubic feet of dirt and motocross bikes into the fucking sanctuary, right? It's not necessary to take the sanctuary of your damn church, which is intended for the feeding of the sheep, and turn it into a damn circus. You go down to the monster truck rally and you go talk to people, and pass out tracts or whatever the hell you want to do, whatever you think that might effectively get a message across, right? And so, you know, I just, so I said that, you know, I went up to one of the deacons and I said, you know, dude, he was leaving a big ass guilt trip, right? About, well, all of you need to be putting prayer cards up here about who you're going to be bringing to the revival, as if we can fucking schedule a goddamn revival. That God is going to breathe into fucking people when we tell him to. The Holy Spirit's going to fucking move when we tell him to. Stupid sons of bitches, okay? Ignorant. Reading the same damn Bible I do. Teaching. And telling me stupid shit like that. And so I went up to the guy, Rick, and I said, Rick, Deacon Rick, I said, you know, I'm kind of praying this whole damn thing fails, right? I didn't say damn, but, you know. I said, and if you look in the book of Acts, you know, evangelism, anyone juggling, we're doing all sorts of stupid stuff. And I just pray it fails. Oh, boy. I got a visit from the discipline committee. Pastor and two deacons, mine and this guy, Rick. And they said, maybe it'd be best if you could just go and move on down the road and worship someplace else. Now, this was already on top of the fact that I'm teaching a class on the book of 1 John, which is the fruits of being a Christian. Now, how to identify what, you know, are you or are you not when you examine yourself, right? You didn't like that either. Because we just, man, a Baptist church, man, we just throw them in the baptismal. We get them wet, man, they're saved, right? You just tell them to write down that date on a fucking tomato stick and pound it in the backyard, and the devil shouldn't bother you no more, right? Well, that's stupid. You know, I mean, the gospel is necessary every day. And so, yeah, it was like a mill. It was like a salvation mill. But yet we got a church full of people that are unconverted, right? With the numbers are good, right? But, I mean, look, if you don't, if you really believe this stuff, you know, like heaven, hell, all that kind of stuff, people really going to hell if they don't have Christ. I would be concerned if you know, the guy can't stay awake even through a church service before lunch, right? when eternity is going to be, we're all going to be hanging out, supposedly, you know, according to the Bible, worshiping the Lord, if that's the case, that's true, then you're going to be pretty bored real fast, you know. And so if you can't get enough energy to do that in a church for like, you know, a little bit, 30 minutes, you know, you're probably not in pretty good shape with God, in my opinion, right? So I had a concern and a burden for all these lost people that I considered lost within the church. And, yeah, questioning that was not a good idea because the Baptist is a big, big organization, and Southern Baptists they are, and big voting bloc, right? At least they feel a lot of power, and the more numbers they have, which is why all the church rolls, totally inflated. Totally inflated. And, right. If you haven't smashed the like button, please do. You probably have, but. So, yeah. So I was wounded by the church. I mean, they threw me out. And then I went to this Reformed Baptist church, and I ended up with the same damn type thing in the end. 2 fucking guys, and this time I got ambushed. The pastor told me he was coming over, and he came over with the son of a bitch second in charge, too. And they sat down with me, and they wanted to talk to me alone. I said, oh, no, you talking to me in front of my wife, man. We're one flesh. And so that story I told you about Isaiah, right? He was talking about not a lot of people were converted under my preaching in the church. I was in a rotation. I wasn't exclusively the preacher. I wasn't the pastor of the church. I was just in rotation with the elders. And the bastards didn't even make me an elder, okay? Geneva Bible, very nice. I own one, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a nice piece of information. D-Dog. I like David Barton. I watched a lot of David Barton stuff. That was helpful. I'd really like to do more of it again because it's been a long time. So, yeah, man. The church, it became legalistic. It was really, really solid Reformed Baptist church, man. And I mean, ivory tower type stuff, that's the stock I come from, right? And love them. The Bereans, man. Search the Bible, boy. But just as much as sinners, and took it and made the whole damn thing legalistic, and it blew up. And people got ugly, man. Really ugly. And I just spun off, man. I just left. And my whole life kind of fell apart. And that's when I moved up to here in Maine. I mean, make a long story short. And so, yeah, man, I haven't gone to a church. I just can't. And so, my problem is the Bible says, don't forsake the assembling of yourselves together. And also, if you have a light, you can't hide it under a basket, right? Well, doesn't look like I'm hiding now, does it? I realized on Sunday, to wrap up the story, as I was going to get a 15-pack of Natty Daddy and a pack of cigarettes, and the church, little white church, right across the gas station, man, right across the street, had the kids outside all cleaned up in their jeans and plaid shirts and getting their candies and gee golly willikers. And I get in my car, light a cigarette, and turn up Hail to the King. And his mean guitar solo comes ripping out of my car. And I gently turned around, man, and I drove past it. And I realized with a big smile on my face, I started weeping, that I didn't belong in that evangelical church. And that I can there's no shred of me anymore that thinks that maybe that was what I was supposed to be doing as a pastor of a church, because I tried, you know. And, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. Well, look, there's the church universal, right? The invisible church. And then there's the visible church. And I believe in the remnant, right? That's what a lot of folks refer to. And I think that's what's going to rise. I think that I'm one of the remnant church, and I think I'm here as one of the ones to call the remnant church to wake up and to hear the call. And whether those are new Christians or whether those are ones I'm trying to wake out of evangelical hell that still have their fucking head in the silverware drawer, arranging the silverware, right? And the house is fucking burning down. I mean, it's exactly what's going on. We're talking about whether, literally conversations like whether gosh darn it is okay because it's a euphemism for God damn it, which is saying the bad thing. I mean, we're being Pharisees, for fuck's sake. We're building hedges around hedges around hedges, you know, the oral law. All right, we're just doing the same fucking Pharisaical thing. Read the fucking Bible. So this is the way I preach, because I don't think that saying fuck is going to send me to hell. Rejecting Jesus Christ is going to send me to hell. Tell me otherwise, right? So I understand that I might cause a weaker brother to stumble, but I don't think those are the ones I'm supposed to call. I think I'm supposed to be calling warriors, right? So well, this whole 501c3 thing was a bunch of shit anyway, right? All of it. This carve out an exemption that caused churches to not speak out about political things because they'd lose their 501c3 tax-free status. And let me tell you something. The church fucked up. The church did what was wrong. The church did what was non-biblical. Because when Jesus had to pay his taxes, and it might be Peter, it might be Paul, I don't know. Maybe it was James. I can't remember. I think it was Peter. Told him, go down and catch a fucking fish. Go pay the taxes. He went, what? We caught a fish? Sure enough, man, 2 drachmas came out. He said, good. And he said, go render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, right? Basically, and render to God what is God's, right? Go pay the damn taxes for us. Jesus paid the taxes. Well, Jesus paid the fucking taxes. Just pay the fucking taxes. Then they can't tell you what to fucking say. What, are you afraid of the extra 15% or 20%? Fuck. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know, D-Dog. I don't know. But what I do know is that doing this was stupid. Because my pastor would go, well, you know, I don't want to talk about politics. I might alienate somebody from Christ. Sounds good in theory. But in my opinion, it's lazy or it's cowardice. Especially now. We don't, you know. So, I don't know. But that's why I'm here. That's why I do this podcast. This is because this is my pulpit now. And every day I get up and when I go to bed at night, I can feel like, you know, I carried the truth. I carried the word. I carried the logos the best I could. Cut it straight as I could. With you know, trying to bring as little offense as possible, except for the people that need to fucking be offended. So.
winds of about 110 miles per hour. Can you go ahead and flip prompter so I can see?
I'm gonna turn this up just for a second.
See, you all at
My
home
parents,
can see me, but I can't see myself.
her parents,
And I'm handsome. I like to look at myself. We're looking at the
are in
wave here
Sarasota.
that Adalia is producing right now out
She's
in
at home alone
Mexico.
after open heart surgery, and he has dementia with Parkinson's, and he's in a
out of this
home.
system, and right now it's at its strongest point that it has been this entire time. So you would expect to see some of these wave heights. They do drop off down to under 10 feet as you get towards our coastline.
Well, I agree,
We're
and that's
looking
what
at
I
about 5
created
to
this
7
space for,
off
dude.
of our coastline here in Southwest Florida. But this storm has a very well-defined eye, and you can see
Yeah, the eye finally developed.
circulating around that well-defined eye. And even though
I guess
we're
it's Cat
pushing
4, I
some of
think.
those thunderstorms and those rain bands off to the east, we're still seeing
No,
some
we
very
have to
well-defined
talk about the
centers of
uncomfortable
turbulence
subjects, and we've got to do it now.
that's going to continue as the system
And I'm not the
develops.
only one with a sense of urgency, okay? I mean, John Voight got on. I don't know if you saw that message that I put out there.
Pick up some strength,
Called it a civil war. There's, you know, I mean, I called it 2 years ago.
was earlier today, so that's a little piece of good
But
news. That's going to give you less time to create
like I
storm
said, I
surge
came from understanding what living under authoritarianism is,
to a landfall point
and,
a little more quickly
you know,
than was earlier.
war, I guess, was always something that I just knew could happen.
Look at all of the rain that's to the
So
east of the center. That's because that wind shear is blowing these rain bands off to the
these
east.
cities,
So we've been
man,
dealing
look at
with
this,
rain
look at this New York City,
much off and on all evening long and all
Midtown Manhattan. My God, what's going to happen when the food stops and the water shuts off?
stretch from DeSoto County all the way through Lee County here in Southwest Florida.
These people are going to tear each other's faces off.
It does pick up in intensity here in Charlotte County, especially
Man, I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
and Boca Grande, and then over towards Punta Gorda.
Not to mention walk around, you know, you get mugged on the street, just getting home with your wallet or, you know, with your life. Yeah, it's going to be a total shit show, dude. I keep tossing it around like a Rubik's Cube. I just don't think we're going to get to the election. I just don't think so. I think they're going to take him out or try and put him in prison, and then it's all going to break out, and then once we finish the job ourselves and wipe ourselves out and China's done laughing, they'll just march right in. I don't know.
I-75 is kind of the cutoff for this light rain too, which stretches into Estero, back towards Punta Rasa, the Iona-McGregor area of Fort Myers, and almost down into Bonita Springs. It's not quite into Bonita Springs, and it's not quite into Collier County yet either. You see how it kind of bends back here into the Gulf of Mexico. So it's going to take a little while for that rain to get into Naples and Marco Island. But as we go over the next hour, you can see how that rain moves off to the north-northeast, and it does slowly spread a little bit deeper.
Oh, very nice.
12:15. We'll see some rain throughout.
Nice job, D-Dog. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I get on my show and talk about every day, right? Is just exactly something like what you did. And I'm like, you know, I don't know what it all is. I don't know what that is locally for you. You know what I'm saying? And when my daughter went to junior high, before I lost her, you know, they had a Bible in the counselor's, you know, office, and they would make them read Bible verses if they did bad shit and all that. But still, they had a teacher that was getting the same author that wrote Dinky Hocker Shoots Smack. I don't know how old you are, but anyway, I read it when I was a kid. And this lady was the author of teen lesbian pulp fiction. Yeah. I lost my mind when I did an internet search on it, you know. And I should have fucking marched right the hell in there, and I didn't. I wrote a letter, and then I didn't pursue it, right? Far enough. And I should have. I mean, you know, to this day I regret it. And so that's why I'm such a, you know, man, now I got some guy come to me, this local guy, 66. Oh, shit, you're only 3 years younger than I am then. Yeah. Okay. So you get it. You get it. You know what I'm talking about, as far as I feel like a fucking relic. right? I mean, I still open doors for women and shit. You know what I mean? Mama raised me right. Daddy did too. But it adds to that total dystopian reality that I feel on a daily basis, where I feel like my fucking consciousness is tearing in two, you know? Oh, okay. Thank you for your service and your entire family. Thank you very much. My dad served, and I wear his dog tags. He served in the Army.
A little bit of an opportunity there in Collier County, but the storm surge watch was dropped in Collier, so that's a little bit of good news.
Yeah, man, you know, but people, it's gone. The common civility is gone anymore. And in pockets, I mean, it's still there. I enjoy it here. And I'm hoping that maybe the shit that I see on the media all the time, because I'm blasted by it on Twitter, and some of this isn't all real. And that there are a lot of places that a majority of America still isn't, you know, is still opening doors for each other and doing shit like that, you know? Maybe. Stuff like that. It's just sad. You know, it's like that song, you know, that Am I the Only One? That song rips my guts out, man. Man, every time I get in the shower, my wife puts on like a string of fucking songs like Am I the Only One? And I don't know, a couple others. And I just, you know. But, you know, that's the outpouring of my soul to God, man. That's my prayer. Those are prayers going up to God. Holy Spirit cleans them up, man. Yeah, I always wanted to. I always wanted to serve in a certain capacity, and thought about law enforcement at some point in life, and I just never did it. And so, but I got a feeling I'm going to be serving real soon in a leadership position. Honestly, I see myself in a bunker someplace with some of y'all. I mean, is that fucking crazy? You're right. I agree. I agree. Which is why I do it. Which is why every waking moment I have an opportunity that I'm not reading a book or making money or doing something. I mean, I'm not even doing much cleaning house, you know. I'm gonna have to get a cleaning lady, because my wife can't do it. I hate doing it.
Especially with it being dark out, you know, you hope that people can see if water is starting to creep closer to their home. Hopefully, if that is the case, they are not there. But earlier today, we did see that water.
Yeah, I agree with you, D-Dog. You know.
So we are hoping to see it again soon.
Yeah, that's right. ABC7's.
I think that the way I see this unfolding biblically, I don't know where you are, pre-trib, post-trib, mid-trib, any of that shit. I was mid-trib for a while, and then I thought about it some more, and I thought, man, it's, you know, there's going to be nobody left to preach, you know, when we all get vacuumed out of here, you know. But I think I am pre-trib now, and except that I don't think that the pre-tribulation is going to be immune from all the birth pangs, right? And the birth pangs, I think, are going to get real fucking ugly. Not necessarily lots of bowls and shit pouring out on us, but just even the pre-trib is going to be ugly. So that's kind of where I'm at on that, you know. And beyond that, you know, I do believe in the rapture. Kind of counting on it. I'd prefer not to die. Kind of like to be taken up in the sky, man.
Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or get $7,500 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Freaking commercials. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I don't know. It was really hard, man. I was talking. I don't know if you were here, D-Dog, but I already lost a couple of subscribers because, you know, doing some private messaging. We'd already been private messaging a lot back and forth. We were developing a friendship. And, I don't know, texted too much. You know, and I was like, wow, okay. That's all right, I guess. But, you know, it kind of rocked my world for a couple hours anyway the other morning. And, but, you know, I just said, fuck it. I started doing it again and move on with it. You know, it's like, there'll be people come and go, man. I mean, you know. I've gotten a lot more patient in the last 8 months. You know, I got really involved in doing shorts at some point and, you know, hit the lottery a couple of times, right? For me, you know, get 10, 12 subscribers a day, man. I was getting like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, maybe 5,000 views. And then, you know, I got stepped on. I don't know if it was got choked by the artificial intelligence, you know, the bots. I got shadow banned, throttled, who knows? Oh, no, I agree with you there. If you've ever heard the song by Tom McDonald, American Flag, you know, what do you think? I got a fucking closet full of ammo because I just want to do some hunting? No. Yeah, no, I got, no. No, it's in order to keep the government afraid of its citizens. And when that stopped happening, that's when evil did what evil will fucking do. And that's where, you know, that's the Rubicon, right? The proverbial Rubicon. Government stopped being afraid of the people about January 6th. You want to talk about a shit show? January 6th was a shit show. It was a hard day. Really hard fucking day. I'm just hoping they're not going to pick me up, you know. Both me and her. Got the credit card receipts already, you know. So they wanted to. I didn't go inside, man. Just made it to the base of the stairs. We made it to the scaffolding where they're lifting. There was a lot of stuff going on that day. There were a lot of plants. I met an Antifa guy at the end of the night. I figured out he was a plant. He was an Antifa. He wasn't one of us. But he looked kind of like he was supposed to be one of us. No. I talked to the guy that was, it wasn't Ashley Babbitt's friend. It was the other lady that got trampled. I talked to him. He was just holding his head, just going on and on and on about how his best friend is dead. And we were set up, man. Now it's all clear, you know. Dude, I wouldn't have been anywhere else on the fucking planet. I had to be there. I was like a moth drawn to a flame. And I stood stood there. I've never stood so long in my entire life in one damn place. Thank God I had like a cigarette holder full of weed that I took with me. And we were there until the end of the damn speech, you know. And so we got there after the breach had already happened. But we were there for a lot of it. And it was ugly. And I had the officer that eventually died escorted out right next to me. I think that was the guy. A lot of things happened that day, and it was just all wrong. And at first I thought, yeah, okay, now maybe we got somebody's attention. And then when we finally got back to the hotel and we got the car and we got the hell out of Dodge, I started listening to the wall of media. And that's when I knew, oh, man, this is going to be bad. But I didn't think it was going to get this bad. I mean, still people languishing in prison. Man, you know, oath keepers and shit. Man, come on.
It's the Rooms to Go Labor Day sale. Shop and save on this classic 5-piece dining set with your choice of chair color. On sale, just $7.77. Plus, get this bonus.
Yeah.
Buy an additional
Yeah.
chair, get one free.
Yeah, well, you know, to a certain degree. I mean, I agree with you, AT. But they created the problem, and they knew there would be a reaction, and they knew what that would be. And then, if you've ever listened to the interview with Tucker Carlson and the sergeant at arms, who was prevented from having any backup from, you know, and then once that attack happened, then they justified it and said, okay, well, a whole bunch of, you know, insurrectionists put fence up everywhere and began, you know, the prison planet we now live in. So, yeah, it was all a setup, man. And then they use it to just grab more power. What amazes me, though, is that we live in a day and age of recorded video. And I'm talking just a month or two, you know, or a couple of years, but now even a matter of months. We completely forget about things people said just mere months ago. Pay no attention to what you heard months ago. That wasn't true. You heard it wrong. You know, and these people are crazy. And they don't want to ever spend time in prison. And if Donald Trump goes to Washington, people are going to go to prison. Right, so now you got the indestructible object and the immovable force or whatever the fuck, right? There's going to be a collision. So,
Justin, we are starting to see that storm surge on Fort Myers Beach once again, and we're hoping it recedes again.
well, guys, I enjoyed it. I really did. But I think I'm going to get some shut-eye. I got to read tomorrow. And I'm really glad I got an evening off to do this. Got some stuff set up. Got to spend some time with AD and D-Dog. Yeah, I see. You know, yeah, I know. I don't believe it. I don't believe it either. Right. I mean, you know, like when we sat around waiting for James Comey to come out, tell us all about what Hillary Clinton did. And then he said all this shit she did. And I'm like going, holy fuck, he's going to say that he's going to do something. And he goes, nah, yeah, but, you know, no reasonable prosecutor or whatever do some shit like that, man, you know. And, yeah, so, you know, I don't ever believe that they are. And, you know, that Q shit was nuts, you know, people saying that, oh, they're already in prison in Guantanamo Bay and they're all clones and lizard people and fucking Q's nuts. But, yeah, you know, I don't know. I believe that there's a possibility that if somehow Donald Trump gets so many damn votes, they can't possibly fucking cheat. And a lot of things happen. And, like, the miracle happens again, and lightning does strike twice in the same place. And he gets to be president again, and he doesn't get a bullet. Okay, I think he's not going to make the same personal mistakes again. But again, that scenario is way too fucking normal for anything that my consciousness tells me is really going to happen, especially when I triangulate with the fourth turning and these other models. and my biblical worldview. Does that make sense? I just see it going totally fucking sideways. Am I wrong on this? I mean, do you guys, either of you, before I log out of here, see this going anywhere other than sideways ugly? Oh, the right to revolution. Interesting. Yeah. Well, you know, whether you're a treasonous bastard or whether you're an insurrectionist and a traitor or a hero, right? It just depends on who wins, doesn't it? I mean, I heard that said in some other ways. That's not original to me, but, you know. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Something to ponder, I think, for another day, and think about it, because I'm done consuming things. I'm done drinking, smoking. I'm actually done and worn out fucking talking, to tell you the truth. I do it for a living too, so it is. You're absolutely right. Well, I mean, physical knockdown, drag out. Yeah, grab the guns and yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't think if they try and put him in prison, I think people will rise up around him and he won't be able to tell them not to protect him. That's the way I see it. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be, I guess, maybe the official start shooting at each other, start beating each other senseless, maybe. I don't know. You know, in mass scale or a lot of different places. Who knows? Who knows how it's going to happen? I don't know. But I do know we're already there in a fifth generational sort of way. I mean, we're fighting info wars. You know, Alex Jones was saying that shit forever. He was right about most of the shit he ever talked about, too. Right? So, anyway. All right, guys. I think I'm going to just say goodnight. I really enjoyed the time with both of you. Thanks for spending it here with me and with us. And anybody that watches this show in the future pre-recorded, please come back, stay with us. You're going to be able to watch all the riots here, all the civil disobedience and unrest that's going to occur in this country. And we're going to cover it all. We're going to do our best to cover it all. And you're going to come here because you're going to want to see that because you're going to need to stay informed. It's really, really, really important. Don't be caught with your pants down and unprepared. Pack a bug-out bag, put it in your car, have a plan for where you fucking intend to go. Even if it's a lame fucking plan, make one, right? Do something, right? Thanks, brother. AT, thanks for popping your eyeballs in here, man. Fist bump to you two back. And really enjoyed you, D-Dog, man. I enjoyed learning more about you, and I definitely want to get to know more about you. And I like constitutional scholars. So we need some of you in here, man. And again, thanks for your service. Thanks for your father's service. Thanks for your grandfather's service, right? Right? Love you guys. Really enjoyed it. And I think that would be Truth Slinger calling it a wrap.